Welcome to the LXC.
Lights flashing bright, players take the stage. Iron silver gold.
Diana's got a really nice flank here. Trainer's just a front line. That's not where Jen is supposed to be. Look at the CC chain. He goes down immediately, and that's your entire team right now. Billy does not have the ability to hold here. I mean, he lives again. Alright, and they're going in blind right now. Jen will get a lot, but there's a Galio coming in. This is the fight they want. It just might be too late. Billy is going to ult 5 of them, 4 of them at least. The stun comes in. Teleport from Yoda so late because Billy's already at half health. Yoda will find the carries, but Billy is dead, and now Yon has no... This face check is going to go very poorly, and Bessa ult finds on to Chukles. That 1v4 is kind of tough for Matrix, but not nearly as hard as Samurai's 1v4, because he is going down. And Matrix was able to get out. There's an orange available. So Chukles will be able to walk away, but not from this stun. He will go down. And I don't think they're going to wait for the Baron now, because those supers are already hitting the Nexus towers. And, you know, you got to
around and wait for them to either get face check in, you get a
pick.
pick.
This is a face check. Leona's caught. Galio ult does come out. It's just not enough though with Infernal Soul. Surely! There they go. MF ult also picks off the Galio and the Leona and Matrix. Buckby coming in for that kill. Oh,
Worst person in.
that's a dead. That's a dead Grace.
I like it. We'll see.
I know. It would make sense for Hector. Not so much girl. She's not really. I mean, you might call her like a horse girl, like that archetype of person, but I don't think it's really accurate. More like a knight.
Like a centaur?
Like, you know, like the girls that are grow up on ranches and have like horses or whatever. It's just a trope.
Equestrians?
Ro's not one of those. She has a much more deep.
Strategy in play, eyes on the prize. From the bottom up, reach for the skies. Arbiter lead tonight, everyone's fight. Climb up in the height, shine on in the light.
Welcome everybody to the LXC Winters Season 2 split. We are here with the Arbiter Playoffs Week 2 matchup between TD Harmony and Jolly Rogers Black Pearl. My name's Bag. I'll be your play-by-play caster and joined with Soul Keeper with to do color casting and being our host. We get to see the number 1 seed TD Harmony face off Jolly Rogers Black Pearl. How do you think? Yeah, Jolly Rogers is going to have to hope that momentum is something that they can build off of and lead them to victory over the much stronger TD Harmony, who came off an undefeated split. It's going to be a hard thing to do, but they have this best of 5 to show it and prove it to us tonight. We're still waiting for all the players to be ready for the draft and everything. We do have TD Harmony taking the red side, as they are the higher seed, and they have to choose the side selection. Afterwards, the losing team will take the side selection from here on out. We're waiting still on Jot and G Rogers to ready up, but while we do, we can look at the teams as we got for TD Harmony, Complex in the top lane, Toxin in the jungle, Frost in the mid lane, Kidicus in the bot lane, and I am Atomic in the support role. And for Jolly Rogers Black Pearl, we got I'm gonna need some help again on the top laner's name.
Chukles.
Chukles in the top lane, Samurai in the jungle, a Courtlow in the mid lane, Wally C top in the ADC role, and Sapphire Gem in the support. And do you think any of these matchups are Jolly Roger's favors, or is this all TD Harmony coming off of the 4-0 split?
Oh, really, really tough. It can really depend. It's kind of a coin flip um, down in the jungle, depending what Toxin's playing. Toxin can be a rock star or the ping. We'll have to see if that demon hits him. Frost and Acre are probably the biggest highlight matchup that we'll have tonight. I think the game's really going to decide what's happening mid.
Looking at last week's matchup, it was Chocos having the highest KDA for a laner, with Sapphire Gem, of course, being the support role, having the highest KDA for the team. But Samurai, like you said, has those kills, so we'll have to hope for another great round there. But that being said, we are starting to get into the draft, so maybe we can jump into that.
Yep, there we go.
Going.
Slight links issue. It looks like we all got it worked out. Moo B1'd.
Band, I think a pretty solid band. Maybe with this being the Arbitrator lead, we're gonna need to be seeing simpler champions, as the skill level of these players are still developing. They're still trying to become players and get ready for the bigger leagues. So it's better to pick and ban simpler champions that they can control and play at a decent level.
Yeah, have to see if they focus here on Frost, who has shown he can play these enchanters as well as has those AD mid picks. Frost arguably just about ready to move up into that Sentinel League, closing on that plat rank, but has shown proficiency in both the enchanters as well as the ADs, the Yones, the Yasuos, to play those mid.
Right now, on our last bans here, see what Jolly Roger's Black Pearl Priorities can mean the last ban. What will be the first pick of this best of 5 series? Okay. Thinking very hard on this, taking the full time, not trying to hurry. They go with the Diana. I don't know if this is a flex pick for Jolly Rogers or if this will just be
So
Diana
that is Samurai's main pick. We saw it last week. He played it every single match. All 3 games was this Diana jungle.
All right. We got some comfort coming in then for Samurai, and like we said, had the highest kills for the team. So gonna have to put on their carry performance. We got Galio into the Zyra MF, a very strong bot lane potential. Also with the Zyra having potential to go into the jungle, something that can match Diana's clear speed, and also provides some disengage for Diana's engage. And we got Corky being the other lock for Jolly Rogers, just the matchup against Misfortune, and Yone will be the final lock for the first pick of phase.
Yeah, pretty rapid fire here with the picks and bans. The plans come together. I do expect this is going to be a Zyra jungle. Toxin has been favoring that here in the jungle pick, and Frost is going to be picking up that Yone, I would expect. They're in the mid lane. So that's a Galio into Yone.
Yeah, I would say that's pretty Yone favored there with Scalio. Will still have the taunt and either make things happen, but won't be able to build the MR as easily as they would like to. And with facing an AP jungler potential, not being able to build the MR will hurt their laning. And we got the bans coming in with Braum and Cassante being the first 2, protecting their Misfortune with that Braum ban, and Cassante just a overall solid pick in the top lane and just known for kidnapping your carry into doom.
Yeah, the callback there showing the respect to Chukles on that GP ban. GP was a massive problem, and one of the reasons Jolly Rogers did pick up that win was Chukles on that GP pick that he played last week.
Final ban being Tark, an interesting ban there. I mean, it does have good, threat into Diana Galio, and maybe Sapphire Gem is a. Oh, sorry, I am Atomic is a Tark player, but it's a pretty unique pick as we get Nautilus getting locked in, another solid champion. easy lockdown with their hook and ulti as we get Renekton getting hovered by the Jolly Rogers, and it will be locked in. What will they finish out their draft with? As they have a lot of melee frontliners to dive onto the back line of TD Harmony, and that looks like they'll keep going with that, with Leona being the hover.
Yeah, huge dive comp coming out here. Um, so is this okay? So this is gonna be ADC Corki then, is what we're gonna see.
Yes,
Okay.
bot lane Corki. Bot lane Corki and paired up with the Leo, and then we have the
Kind of a squishy team comp. What do they round this out with to face this amount of dive coming out from Jolly Rogers?
Ooh, that's
Well,
a great chicken to dive right there.
That'll
Jolly
do it.
Rogers might regret their picks as it's the Alawi R5 for TD Harmony and for Chukos. That is a scary pick into this draft for Jolly Rogers. They're going to have to rely on making team fights happen and getting onto the backline instantly, because if not, Alawi will be handling the side lanes throughout this game.
Yeah, that's definitely a good answer. I'm seeing all this dive. I'm like, ooh, what do you do here? That's a great response and a good draft, I think, coming up from TD Harmony.
And Jolly Rogers will have to hope that the comfort picks for Samurai on that Diana and just making plays happen, making the game fast paced and try to snowball their lead, because otherwise TD Harmony has some scary side lanes and a decent team fight to boot.
Yeah, should be real strong here. Who do you feel won draft here?
I mean, I would favor TD Harmony's draft pretty much every time. The only thing I can say is that the Corki is maybe stronger bot lane than well, I should say the Corki Leona is stronger than Misfortune Nautilus, but even that, the simplification of the bot lane for TD Harmony will probably just lead it to being a scale mate or a complete bloodlust, as we are in Arbiter, and how lanes should play out aren't exactly how they will, as it's going to be a non-stop fight, or maybe teams just playing a little bit safe because this is playoffs. But TD Harmony, coming off of a second place finish last split, has experience, made it into the grand finals, and took that experience and made themselves into a 4-0 powerhouse, looking to be the favorite team here. While Jolly Rogers is a new team into the block. They got their first win of the season in the first round of the playoffs, but looking hard pressed to get their first win of the series.
Yeah, I do feel like this is definitely a TD Harmony welcoming them in to playoffs, much less a best of 5 series. This is a heck of a way to start. It is not fearless, so I imagine we'll see some of these champions again. But this is a pretty tough team comps to go into. So much dive. I do expect a lot of bloodshed, and it's going to be more exciting. These teams are going to be able to fight just at the drop of a hat, with all that dive and counter to come in. And both of these supports are known for roaming. So mid lane visits.
Okay, the roaming supports, I can appreciate that. It's going to be something that next patch might become a little bit of a punishment, but we're still in the patch where there is not this lane swap punishment, no support roaming punishment for the first few levels, so they can make things happen early and often. I would favor the Nautilus in terms of the roam versus roam matchup, even though if Leona is able to find herself onto any carry, she does have quite a bit of lockdown with her ulti EQ combo, whereas Nautilus has pretty much just his ult and his hook and his passive, of course, but it doesn't have the same cooldown that Leona will have.
So just about we're about to head in the spectator delay. Thoughts on jungle? If you're the jungle either side, which lane are you prioing? And who do you want to get those ganks and get those kills on?
If you're Jolly Rogers, you have to get your either bot lane ahead, try to hope they carry, or you can send the first gank up to top lane and set Salawi behind, because if the Salawi gets ahead, it's all over for TD Harmony. I think you trust your bot lane to not feed and play for the mid and top lanes, and they will just dominate this game if they get any type of lead.
Yeah, that sounds good. Final thoughts before break? As we wait out spec delay?
I think that we're gonna have an interesting game, an interesting series, and we're gonna have to see if Jolly Rogers can pull off the upsets because they're coming in as the major underdogs, and including in the draft.
Yeah, game one looking a little tough, but definitely a little spicy. And we'll be right back after a short break for Spectally.
What's on your mind? Can I read it from your eyes? Can we lay and make the time stand still? What if we stay? Pretend there's nothing else. What if we stay? What's on your mind? Can I read it from your eyes? Can we lay and make the time stand still? What if we stay? Pretend there's nothing else. What's on your mind? Can I read it from your eyes? Can we lay and make the time stand still? What if we stay? Pretend there's nothing else.
Welcome, everyone. It is time for Game 1 in playoffs. I am Necrox, joined by Beg, and I'm hoping for an exciting series here to kick things off. And I don't have any time to speak because we're already flashing in first blood just like that. Beg, what a way to kick it off. Jolly Rogers claim it less than a minute in.
Yeah, those lanes being wider in the mid lane makes it a little bit more difficult for mid laners to know where to step to make it so that their junglers do not, or supports, do not get surprised there, and they don't do it properly, and it leads into the first blood of the game, and it's going over to the bot lane carry for Jolly Rogers.
Yeah, Walkie Top able to pick that one up, and unfortunately, first blood gold being I'd say reduced or reverted back to just normal means just a dagger purchase isn't all that impactful, but all the same, Jolly Rogers getting out to a nice early start. I like to see the proactivity. I typically associate that with a game plan. When it comes into a playoff series like this, we'll see if they continue that trend as finally the minions crash, and it is time for the playoffs to officially begin here on this Monday evening as we see this Yone matchup highlighted for now. I'm really interested to see what Frost can do in such an advantageous matchup if he gets such a big lead.
Yeah, Frost is apparently a well-known Yone in this league, as they were surprised to even have it be left up, and they got an R3, and they got a decent matchup into the Galio, as Galio would prefer to be facing those mages in the mid lane, but has to face this AD Bruiser. His now have to see how they manage it off. They started W level 1 to go for the taunt, so they had to concede the first few levels, but now they're going to look to try to get the wave back into their control. But we have a hook going on to the bot lane. Sapphire, who did not have their flash from the level 1, gets a big chunk of their HP gone.
Yeah, it's a silly mistake there from Sapphire. I think you have to respect the level 2, especially on an engaged champ like Nautilus. Always will skill that hook and be ready with a level advantage, so we'll lose a little bit of HP. Luckily, it is just a health pot burned for now. With jungles both pathing towards his bot side, though, that missing flash could be of importance if we have a 3v3 breakout on this bot side. Zyra being so quick as well on that clear, notably, could make a big difference here if something were to break out in this bot side.
Yeah, and I would favor the bot lane 3v3 for TD Harmony, as Zyra provides that extra little bit of CC that could make the big difference, especially with this being a little bit of a lower elo league, and so CC is a big component, making it a lot easier to make plays happen. But we'll have to see how it plays out, as both junglers are about to finish their first full clears. Will this be the bot lane gank, or will they look for the Scuttle Crab?
Yeah, and that red side ward as well going down to the bot try is going to be big to deny that gank attempt from a champion like Diana, who doesn't really have any C or engage until she gets 6, of course, and instead it will just be Toxin in this push waiting for Samurai to walk on in, and we'll take him down to about half HP. And now, well, this is a misstep, I think, from Atomic. I don't think he wanted to be here. Does have the flash, but won't be able to use it, in Samurai gets a freebie handed over. Atomic, that's not where you needed to be.
Yeah, Atomic just a little bit desynced with their teammate, thinking that we were just going to keep going after that big chunk. But no, their team was taking the nice trade and looking to keep their tempo up. But Atomic left all alone, donates another kill for Jolly Rogers. Now Jolly Rogers up 2-0, 1 kill away from the first feats of the game. As we got a fight going on for mid lane. Will they get out alive? They have to burn the flash. Both mid laners are to get their flashes burned, but Yone definitely favoring that trade.
Yeah, definitely. A Courtlow will have to reset here. TP back to mid lane, and Frost will get the push out. Deny a little bit of XP and CS here in mid will be a nice, suitable advantage for Frost here on his Yone that you mentioned was a power pick of his, and we'll see if he continues to push that lead. But obviously, a pretty big lead so far around the board here for the likes of Jolly Rogers. Two small mistakes means a meaningful difference here in the jungle and bot lane, and now a Courtlow just looking to trade back onto Frost, but he will TP back shortly as soon as he takes his recall, and he will be just fine. But overall, state of the game looking good for Jolly Rogers to start out this playoff series. See if they're able to continue that momentum as we get our first neutral objective up on the board now in Hextech Drag.
An interesting thing we get to see here, both junglers starting with the same exact item, except one has a little bit of the boost with the boots. With the Fright and Ashes, it used to be OP, now a little bit nerfed, but still a must-stay for both these junglers, both looking for the Leandries. The one thing I'm interested is, what will Samurai go for their other items? Because with the nerfs to Unending Despair, will we still see that from the Diana, or will they see an adaptation of the build and going to something else? What do you think?
Yeah, it's actually an interesting question, right? Because this Diana does have quite a few squishy targets to blow up. Misfortune, notably, is really easy to just explode if she's channeling her bullet time, right? It gives you a free angle to use that ulti, but, you know, champions like Alawi can be scary to just dive into, and now I think we can get into something you're maybe a little bit more comfortable on, Beg. Talk to me about this top lane matchup, because this bot side should be a sleeper here for just a minute. I'm curious. This Renekton Alawi matchup, I know zero about this, so please, educate me. Alawi's popping roll. Was that the move?
I think that's a little bit of a trigger-happy pull there by Complex. It's realistically an ability that should not be used unless you have the kill angle and or you have the soul pulled out to chunk them out of the lane, because this allows Chuckles to get the farm this wave, get the farm the next wave if they want to. As for the lane matchup, it's realistically a matter of can Chuckles dodge those E's from Alawi. Because if they get their soul pulled out, they will be losing their HP and losing the lane. But they do have the advantage of not having mana, and this will make it so that if Complex misses those E's, misses the things, that it will be time for Chuckles to go for the engages, as we got a mid lane fight coming in with the Galio trying to go onto Frost, but now having nothing left. But here comes the Gianna with the flash and ulti engage. Frost tries to pull it to their ulti to get out, but it's not going to be enough, and that's feats going over to Jolly Rogers, Black Pearl.
Yeah, well played. Samurai able to dash in and flash forward to stop the Yone ulti from escaping, and all of a sudden this game is looking really heavily in favor of the likes of Jolly Rogers, able to pick up 3 quick kills before 8 minutes in, but the bot side looking aggressive. Kittikus trying to trade back, flashing forward, but just not able to find it. Now Toxic maybe a little overextended. This Corki just does too much damage. Meanwhile, top side, there's a 1v1 kill as well. The action does not stop. Kittikus will drop to Leona. It's blood all around the rift, Beg. And it looks like these two teams have come out swinging, but the haymakers are landing for the side of Jolly Rogers.
Yeah, and with the bot lane matchup there, Sapphire Gem showing mastery of her champion, it's a good disengage of the Nautilus going in, and then they just turn on to Atomic, gets that first kill. They agreed a little bit for the second one, but still pull out the 2-for-1, and then in the top lane, Chuckles taking advantage of Complex no longer having their ulti, goes for the dive, straightens her life, but we'll take it as the wave was slow pushing out to them.
Not bad, not bad at all. Atomic really trying to press the lead in bot side as well. Kittikus flashing forward, doing everything to be able to kill Walkie Top on his Corki, but as we hit a little bit of a lull here, Beg, gold is 500 in the lead here for Jolly Rogers at Black Pearl, so 500 gold, nothing to snuff your nose at 8 minutes in, still can be really impactful, but shouldn't be anything that's uncomebackable, as Complex is going to pop that ulti once again on the top side, and Chuko's having to run away from this one. Remember, he's going to get slowed if he leaves this arena of death all too soon. Complex doesn't land the slam, though. Does have the movement speed to catch up, though. I don't think Chukos has a way out. Complex solo bolo kill on the Alawi top side. Is now bot side. Okay, And off we go. Nice double stun with a solar flare. Sapphire Gem gonna go in, and that's the Zyra ulti pop, but it's not gonna be in time. Kitticus will fall for kill number 1, and Walky will kill number 2, and Toxic having to flash away to make sure it's not 3 for free. And Black Pearl coming out 8-3 on top now. I feel like this one's starting to run away from the likes of TD Harmony.
Yeah, I mean, right there, just showing the difference between Complex doing the ulti at the right time and doing it at the wrong time. First time we saw it, didn't get anything out of it. Second time, first solo kill. And then the bot lane, again, Atomic looking for the engage for their team, getting the kills killed out for it, and because thanks to Samurai with another great flank. But Chukul's with a solo kill. These top laners fighting back and forth. Neither one wants to play the weak time when they don't have their ultis and keep dying for it. And I'm all the fan for it.
Yeah, I mean, this is the agreement of every top laner in solo queue, right? You just fight to the death on every single wave, and you trade each other gold, and that's how you become the best champion in the game. You just absolutely just gut punch each other for 15 minutes, and whoever is the better man will come out on top. But alas, 2-2 for both of these top laners. Black Cleaver going to be completed up here for Complex. Chukul's not quite able to finish his first item yet, but instead first item in here for Samurai, who has found himself 3-0-2 on this Diana. Leandre's first, and I'm interested, Beg. I think we're going to get the answer. I think it might be more of a bruiser build for Samurai here on this Diana with a big lead that could be scary, but I'm interested to see how the nerfs affect him. Samurai looking to make another play onto Frost, but Q3 takes him to safety.
Yeah, with that Ruby Crystal, there's still a chance that it's like Riftmaker and not the Unending Despair, which I would actually be a pretty big fan of, thanks to the fact that they do have to have sustained battles against the Yone, but we'll see. I mean, it could easily just go to the Unending Despair, just defaulting to what it was in the previous patch, because they liked how it felt and not really looking at the patch notes super much, or maybe they just think it's not significant enough to matter. As Samurai picking up another dragon, like you said, 3-0-2, playing big, looking for plays. Samurai also coming off of a great performance last week in their first playoff series, leading the team in kills. All their games were on Diana, and we got them engaging on the Frost, having them the Q3 out of there. As Renekton now going on to Toxin, gets out of there just barely. Now Complex gonna have to 2v1. Is a champion that can do it, as Courtlow does not have any mana, has to run out, uses the E to just get away, and it looks like everyone's gonna be wounded, but no one's gonna die.
Yeah, I mean, it's just so desynced there for the likes of Jolly Rogers, Black Pearl. You can see Chukul's trying to make the play on Toxin. He lives with 1 HP. Then Artclo ends up using the hero's entrance to try to get in as well, but Chukul's already dashed and sliced and diced his way out of the fight, so he's left to try to 1v1, but he's not able to do that, at least not with this kind of Galio. And so he has to then run. Chukul's pops his ulti in top side, looks at Complex menacingly, and Complex walks away.
Yeah, Chukul's having to imagine that their jungler was a little bit closer and trying to look for the engaged. The only problem is they used their W on Tentacle, so they didn't have the CC to stop Complex from just walking away.
Slice and dice trade there. Much better from Chukul's here, but I think the point you're making about Samurai taking control over this game could be an important one. A big question in the mind of TD Harmony here as they figure out, how do we approach a dragon? How do we approach teamfights? Two now straight neutral objectives on the bot side, and the grubs over to the top side. Here, at least 2 of the 3 in that last rotation to the side of Jolly Rogers. And at some point, you're going to have to contest. They have a team fight comp. They have the Zyra Misfortune Wombo. They have the Yone as well. They have a possible sign lane threat, but I don't think Complex is strong enough at this point to start running over side. And I don't know, I think Dragon might be up quicker than the likes of TD Harmony would enjoy in this state of the game.
TD Harmony is getting decent vision setup though with the side with I Am Atomic getting decent deep wards. That being said though, we got Sapphire Gem looking to clear out those wards and set up, but they only find the one, so there's still some decent wards. They got the Scuttle Crab as well. We'll see. It looks like they are prepping for the fight. I Am Atomic's just sitting in the river right now trying to find someone coming out, but no one walking into him just yet. We'll see how long they sit there, as it's been about 10 seconds already.
Yeah, Atomic's really trying to make sure this river is in control, trying to give Kitticus a little bit of room and space to grow this CS lead as Complex takes a few tower shots. Chukul's thinking about an all-in here, but that Alawi ult is just sitting there waiting to be used. One extra tentacle already around, and baits it out. Complex. A little eager on the trigger there. I think you mentioned it earlier, Beg, just popping that ulti a little too soon, and Chukles gets that cooldown, and just like that, you can see Complex immediately has to respect the threat of this Renekton and will immediately head back home.
Yeah, Circle's now major advantage state into the top lane. Even with Complex, doesn't even have the TP to get back, so this wave is going to be pushed out. This is going to allow Circles to have full control over what they want to do, whether that be going for a reset themselves and playing with their team, or that being said, Sapphire Gem finding the jungler in their own things. Toxic has to burn the flash, tries to get out, but Samurai not going to let him. Flashes to follow, is on a rampage.
Yeah, goodbye. Kitticus is trying to kite his way out, and they actually do collapse and save him in time. Complex picks it up. That's a big shutdown for an Alawi at this point in the game. Complex now is looking to continue this fight as Chukles is trying to get his way in there with this Fury and the rage built up. Atomic's going to drop it. Do they have enough damage to the back end? Alawi, I don't think, has it, not without the Spirit's Refuge. And now Arclo is trying to get in there as well, with Frost having to dash his way out. The Soul Unbound will take him to safety, but not sure that is what Frost wanted at this point, having to burn his TP, flash, and ulti to get really nothing out of this, and a 3-man siege now into the mid turret. Jolly Rogers again come out on top in that jungle skirmish.
Well, Jolly Rogers wins that fight again, getting the kills leads. Now it's being 11-4. The thing I want to point your eyes to, though, is the fact that it's a 200 gold lead actually for TD Harmony, showing that the CS numbers are actually coming through. The mid lane, the top lane, and bot lane are all up. Even the jungle. It's all just CSD making this gold lead not actually a factor for Jolly Rogers, and makes it so that summoners and execution are probably going to be what determine these fights.
Yeah, I would absolutely agree with you, Beg, and I think one thing we ought to point out is the gold lead in mid. It's 1,000 gold differential here to the likes of Frost in a good side lane matchup. Could be really troublesome here for the likes of a Jolly Rogers. They will struggle to match this Yone in the mid to late game, and for now, looks like some vision control and setup, Beg. I think this could be a determining fight. If both teams want to fight for this 5v5, if Jolly Rogers come ahead out of this fight, it can sprawl out into more neutral objectives that could really secure the game for them. But if the likes of TD Harmony are able to clutch this dragon fight out, or just take it uncontested, that slows this game down quite a lot, and it looks like it's going to be a trade. I don't really know if I like that call from Black Pearl.
Yeah, Black Pearl maybe just respecting the fact that their Corki doesn't have the flash, so would be doomed if they got engaged on by the Yone, who still doesn't have their flash, but still has their ulti. It's a serious threat, and the fact that top lane is going to need some type of help here. But no, it looks like they're now rotating down. Maybe they were just trying to be greedy, trying to get both, and end up trading for one.
And maybe they don't think they can send the Goon Squad up at Complex with the Alawi LT up, but I think this turret may be in some trouble. Complex is now having to decide in or out, and he will choose out as Chukles pops his ulti. Frost will be 1v1ing against Arclo, and we got to keep our eyes on that matchup, surely. That 1v1 could be a huge problem if things do not change here in the lane assignments. For now, the Rift Herald will be secured by the likes of Jolly Rogers, as they will take that neutral objective into their hands, and Samurai will pilot that one before the next Dragon fight. And instead, Dragon traded over here for TD Harmony will secure themselves Dragon #1. But look at that. One quick trade down to half HP. Akortlo has to recall, or he might just get solo killed.
Yeah, I mean, one thing you have to look with Courtlow going again, cookie cutter builds here, as they have the Hollow Radiance, which gives them health, yes, but is MR into a AD threat into Yone, making it so that they're going to have a much harder time. And not to mention, it doesn't matter if they're facing the Yone or the Lawi, as both will be AD champions, and making this Hollow Radiance not that great into both of them.
Yeah, I hate to agree with you on this point, Beg, but I don't think you'll leave me much choice. It is an MR item into double AD threats, at least in the side lanes, and especially with lethality misfortune on the cards, I don't think it's just the right option here, but we'll see if Akortlo has some secret magic up his sleeves that we're just not aware of. Keep an eye on that side lane, but the mid push, I think, could determine a lot of it. We'll see how Walkie Top and Kitticus face off in mid, using their jungle and support assistance to get them out of mid lane and pushing for vision around turrets, because obviously this game at this point can be determined by one single 5v5, which all kicks off if one person makes a mistake, one person mispositions, can spiral into a huge 5v5 fight. It looks like you can see the positioning, the jockeying here in the bottom side river looks to get dangerous already.
Something that I just noticed, it's a matter of who will buy the boots first. As mid lane for Jolly Rogers doesn't have it, and support for TD Harmony both don't have it, which is especially interesting as they're both engaged champion, and Atomic looking to get punished for it as they can't walk out fast enough, and it looks to just die to Samurai and Sapphire Gem's ulti combo.
Yeah, I mean, Atomic just a little overextended there. Kitticus even burns his cleanse and ulti trying to make the return play. Just give it, right? It's not worth. It's a support kill. They're going to use all of that as Frost going under the turret. Getting a little low. The turret shot's going to connect. Frost will survive at double-digit HP. Surely, Rift Herald will be summoned up in mid as well. Looking to get some of those turrets down. First turret, indeed, will go here for the likes of Jolly Rogers. Will not crash, though. So they will not get the damage onto the tier 2, but Complex really getting ahead of this Renekton inside as well. Has that ulti still. Chukos needs to be careful. Complex just takes him out. 4-2 now, and finally Complex rewarded by taking the turret.
Yeah, I mean, Complex getting the solo bolo, uses the ulti this time for just a finisher, which is the other way of doing it, as Courtlow will get caught out by Frost. Greedy recall gets punished by the mid laner for TD Harmony. Now both solo laners picking up the solo kills. Both will end up picking up the turrets, and this gold lead is now starting to balloon for TD Harmony, even though they're down 6 kills.
I honestly could not have predicted this the way this game's looking out. I would have imagined that Jolly Rogers had a pretty solid draft, assuming they just didn't fall behind. You have the Galio for safety. Diana provides every single lick of damage you need on your top side, and Gorky is just a consistent AD, but that's not the way things have gone, and now they're looking to fight back to prove me wrong. They're going to find out Toxin, who pops his stasis, going golden for now. The Zyrold is going to keep him safe, but it's not for long. The soon as your stasis wears out, the damage pours through, and it's the likes of Black Pearl taking 2 kills in mid, dragging up in 40 seconds.
And my question of which one will be the last one to buy the boots has been answered. I Am Atomic still doesn't have it, and it's painfully to watch as they have bought a cloth armor, they have bought a full chain vest, but they have still not bought boots.
That is.
I'm just wondering, what is the
puzzling.
thought?
Why need boots when you just CC? The answer is simpler than you would imagine, Beg.
But, I mean, with this game state, TD Harmony is in the gold lead, down in kills. Will this lead to the psychological effect for Jolly Rogers, thinking they're strong, thinking they can just keep forcing fights, trying to keep finding picks, finding kills, and finding objectives? Or will TD Harmony turn it around, find a fight, and turn this game for them and lead to the first game of the series?
Yeah, I mean, I think Jolly Rogers feel emboldened here after that mid play. They think all of a sudden they have complete advantage over the server, and I don't necessarily disagree, but just be careful, right? You don't have your Diana Flash, nor Renekton, nor Galio. Things could be dangerous here if the fight doesn't go perfect to start. There's a lot of follow-through with Nautilus, Misfortune, Zyra, Yone, who could do a lot of AoE damage. Just keep your eyes on these carries. Bulky Top needs to not get caught out here by likes of Atomic. He can just pop his R. Here comes the teleport. Here we go, Toxin in. Bullet time over the top does a lot of damage. It's ripping through the health bars of Jolly Rogers. Toxin still alive for now. Courtlow crashes down, but only to his grave, and Chukles will fall. And it's a 3-for-1. Make it 4, Beg. The caster curse is real, and Jolly Rogers just throw it over.
That being said, they did, in fact, steal the dragon. Samurai coming up clutch in this smite fight, and it looks like TD Harmony thinks they're able to go for this Otacon, but I'm not so sure. These death timers aren't that long, and they really don't have a tank for it. I'm going to see if Jolly Rogers can respawn and get here in time and look for a fight, but it looks like they're actually thinking it's just already gone too and just playing for mid lane push.
Just cut the losses. It would be tough. There's no teleports to get here. It would only be the likes of Valky and maybe Sapphire who got here on time. So instead, they will leave it to be. It will fall. And that means all that XP gold over to the likes of TD Harmony, who have now found quite a foothold in game one here, Beg. I thought maybe this would start to just be a snowball out of control here for Jolly Rogers, especially after that mid fight, but now TD Harmony, that's the power of their team fight. You saw it, the bullet time, the Nautilus CC, the Zyra CC, and when that bullet time starts to go and it doesn't get interrupted, Kittikis will shred these health bars, and did exactly that. They played it right and able to secure themselves a big fight. But the question remains, Beg. I think the point you made earlier still stands. That soul is up in 3.5 minutes, and it's not enough to win the fight. They got to secure the drag as well next time.
Yeah, I mean, right there, that fight came down to the fact that, like you said, coming in, Samurai did not have their flash, could not get onto Kittikis. So Kittikis positioned themselves well, setting themselves up for the huge ulti that completely shredded the team. Shukels tried to get onto them at the end, but only found the one kill onto Toxin. And despite a great smite for Samurai, it really was all TD Harmony. As now with the Otacon giving them that more XP, we'll see if what they can do. And another thing that it does do, though, is it doesn't give the buff over to Jolly Rogers, who would have empowered dragons, including the soul, which is a great thing because with this Misfortune build, with this full burst team that they have, having that extra shield from Mountain Soul would make a pretty big difference. And now they don't have to worry about it being a little bit bigger. They still have to worry about the Mountain Soul in general. But with them winning that last fight, we'll hopefully just see them prioritize the fight rather than trying to 50-50 the dragon.
And remind me, I do have a question after this 1v1 between mid and top. Shukels versus Frost here. Flash is not in exactly where Frost was escaping, so we'll just lose that summoner. But anyway, back to the question I had for you, Beg. How strong do you think that dragon empowerment is? Is that really where the power of this buff lies? As Toxin will get stunned up, should be a-okay here, assuming the team does want to rotate to him. Eventually, someone's going to look at him, but they're going to look at him in a body bag because Toxin will drop. But, again, the more important conversation, this Otacon, Beg, I'm curious, is it the XP or is it the drags that you would consider more important that get empowered?
I mean, the XP is clearly the more impactful stat, but it is a nice buff, and especially if you were the team that had dragon control. You know, with empowering not only those dragons themselves, but also the soul, it's a nice bonus. That being said, one thing I also just have seen in my eyes, if you notice this Corki, they have that computer Mirror Mana, right? But the only problem is, it's only at half stacks. So this Corki, despite being 1 and 5, is actually in a pretty weak state and we'll have to wait a long time for that stack item to become useful. And this has become not just a battle of champions, players push players. The shopkeeper themselves has put Jolly Rogers in a deficit with this Hollow Radiance, with this Mirror Mana being so low. It's going to be hard for them to find anything for a while, as we got a fight going on for Complex and Articuno. Samurai trying to come help their mid laner, as they are probably the only one on their team that can do anything to Complex right now, but even them has to be scared of this Alawi.
Yeah, I don't even know if they can 2v1 her at this point, to be honest. This Galio build is not it to do anything too complex. And League can be really complicated sometimes you look and think, well, this Mirror Mana, it's going to take me this amount of time to complete, and if I get it by this point, the answer to the question is much simpler. It will not be completed by soul time, and that is important, as Complex will be in a 1v3. Does it kill anyone? Let's find out. Stunned up, everyone's flashing away. Finally, Courtlow comes down, and they will grab the kill. It only took 4, Beg. It only took 4.
Yeah, it took 4, but the thing is, it's giving their team all this setup time, all this building in the bot river. Just grab this dragon. But that being said, Jolly Rogers is pushing this their advantage. They're in 4v5. They're looking for the Baron. It's a TP. It's for us trying to find something. They do get engaged by a Courtlow, but looking for the re-engage again. Ultis on ultis, but not really hitting. Frost is going to get the first kill of the fight. But here comes Shokels, trying to get onto the back line, gets the shutdown, but they'll be trading their life 1 for 1. It's a 2 for 1 for the side of TD Harmony.
That was really close. Frost almost got his teleport cancel there. That means Strukel shows up late because he was going for the cancel instead of the match. It means Frost able to get a little bit of damage out. Does kill Samurai. That stops the Baron attempt outright. No smite means no fight. And the likes of the rest just follow through. Chukul Samurai down. Frost trades his life for it, but you're absolutely calling that worth if you are TD Harmony. You get your second dragon and you stop the Baron attempt on the other side. Gotta consider yourselves lucky not to lose more there in sort of a rush situation. And now as we crest almost 30 minutes, Beg, items become huge. We're gonna ignore the Man Immune, the Hollowed Radiance for now, but the rest are important. This misfortune, is sitting on 3.5 items worth of lethality. Frost is 2.5. Gotta be close to this Infinity Edge at this point. Stopwatch completed. 3 items up here for Complex. I mean, the likes of TD Harmony are sitting on like Gucci and Michael Kors levels of itemization. The other ones are like Old Navy at this point. They're just not dripped out like the likes of TD Harmony are.
Yeah, I mean, another thing that has finally been achieved, I Am Atomic has finally bought boots. And they're still just the, boots of speed, but, we'll take what we can get. It's at least something. As they've, have also purchased this Bramble Vest, which I can understand. It's a cheap item that will, negate the healing. The only problem is that forces the enemy to auto-attack you, and they realistically shouldn't be auto-attacking this Nautilus right now. As if they are, I'm pretty sure TD Harmony's going to be tickled pink and looking to just kill them with all their damage from all their other champions.
Yeah, I just feel like the money could be invested into some quicker shoes, which would help you get vision control, and that helps you move across the map quicker and access different plays. But Atomic, he's got his own tech, all right? Let him cook. Let's see if he burns the dish by the end of the game. And Complex certainly on fire here on this bottom turret. A court low stands a 0 chance against this Alawi inside. All those tentacles just permanently shove this wave under the turret and give it a few more, and Complex will be able to take this tier 2 all to his lonesome. Absolutely massive now on this Alawi. The side lane threat is huge. Yes, you can kill him, but if you have to send 4, the question is, at what cost?
And last time the cost was the dragon, and even though you tried to make it, become better with trying to force the Baron, it did not work out for you, for Jolly Rogers, and they lost the fight after, as they got punished for it. As we have just everyone's looking for someone to make a misstep, someone to make the play, as neither team is feeling confident to just rip this Baron. I think we're just keep waiting for the next dragon. That being said, we actually finally get the first engage onto Frost. Tries to burn the ulti to get out, but can't find it as Shukul slays Frost.
Yeah, that's really well played. Frost I don't think his ward was in the right spot to be able to spot a gank coming from the river, and now Toxin has to be able to defend this turret and Baron at the same time. This is going to get tricky here, Beg. Baron's going to be started up. Frost is dead for 40 seconds. Complex does have his TP.
Yeah, the thing you have to look here, Toxin has their flash. They have to get into this pit, or do you look for just a straight fight? They're trying to walk in. It's still at 8k. It's still relatively heavy. You get the TP coming in for Complex. I mean, Atomic looking for the engage. Chuckle's trying to go in. The big ult down on the whole team. It's wiping them. They're trying to run for their lives. It's a double kill, but now they've just leeched the Baron.
It's gone. TD Harmony secured, and there's no fight to be had here. They just use everything, and they don't land it. Samurai doesn't have his ulti, and that's so much of this team fight potential for the likes of Jolly Rogers. They don't have the critical cooldowns. While Kitop doesn't get the space created for him to be able to carry this fight. He's 3 items without a man, but we'll ignore it, and he just can't get enough damage done. Huge props there to TD Harmony. Kitticus, absolutely massive bullet time over the top, and just like that, Beg, we are right back in it, because it is soul point here, which is almost guaranteed for the likes of TD Harmony. With Baron, man, this game is tough for Jolly Rogers. Compare that to how this game started. The comeback has been great, and in game 1, that is so much momentum now that Team TD Harmony can carry if they're able to close this one out.
Yeah, I mean, right there, Frost just types in all chat worth with their death leading towards their team getting the Baron. It was clearly 200 IQ, all calculated.
Calculated, Meg. Perfect word. Couldn't have said it better myself. Let's see how the siege goes, though. Sapphire Gem gonna stun up Atomic. Jukel's trying to get his way into the backline, but you gotta be careful. There's a lot of kiting potential, but Kitticus drops a bullet time in the face of Samurai. Now he's trying to kite his way out of this one. Does he end up getting it? I think he will. Frost springs in the damage over the top. Double kill over to this Yone, and Samurai will drop as well. Toxin is the only one traded back, but it's 4 for 1. And the likes of TD Harmony run over this fight in the bot side jungle, and Welky top has nowhere to go. You're slowed. You're dead, my friend. Welky, just give it on over. Frost takes him out, and he cleans him up with a Yone. It is over just like that. Game 1 cleaned up by TD Harmony.
Yeah, TD Harmony ending this game. There's pretty much nothing that can be done. There's no one alive. No one thinks. A big sad moment for Jolly Rogers. They came in with the momentum off their first series when they had those kills that put them in this game. But TD Harmony showing why they were a 4-0 team, showing why they were their #1 seed, and they're looking to just take a quick 3-0.
Yeah, I mean, really well played by TD Harmony. The mental, just to stay in that one and be able to come back after a rough start to the game, after getting caught out, after making a few mistakes, maybe on Atomic, misstepping there and bot. Doesn't matter. You keep a level head. And in a series like this, Peg, it's not a best of one, right? The mental level-headedness really speaks for itself. And now Jolly Roger is going to have to bounce back and say, what did we do wrong? How can we beat a team who can come back from a situation like they were in?
Yeah, it's going to be a tough thing. So they have to look at the draft, look at how their lanes went, and try to come back for it.
Yeah, don't go anywhere, y'all. This series is just getting started. Can you believe that was really only game 1? TD Harmony and Jolly Rogers will face off in game 2 when we get back here in LXC Arbiter Playoffs Week 2. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, everyone. It is time for game two, or at least shortly. We should be returning to draft. And, well, Beg, this is where we have to settle our differences. It's got to be time. Just before draft happens, let's throw it out to predictions. We saw how each team played game 1 and 2. Draft is starting up. Hit me with your prediction and a short reason why.
I mean, I'm just gonna go with the favorites. I'm just gonna go with TD Harmony. I think they're gonna do it a clean sweep 3-0. The reason why, I mean, that game showed everything that could go right for Jolly Rogers. Went right for the early game, and TD Harmony still felt they were in the game the whole time, and eventually it was inevitable. They got the victory.
Okay. All right. I'll see if you change your mind after that. But for now, it is draft kicked up here and ready to go. TD Harmony on blue side, Rel, Jarvan, and Swain all taken away from the likes of JRPB on the red, Amumu, Oriana, and Yone, critically, not allowed on the Rift in game number 2. I think we can all agree that's probably a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, Frost played the Yone, got the game going, punished our the other mid laner. I can't say their name. Jolly Rogers, Black Pearl. Another thing we might have to see, we have TD Harmony hovering the Diana, and they're gonna take it away from Samurai, forcing Jolly Rogers jungler on their second champion of their playoff life.
Yeah, that's interesting. It could be Diana Jungle. I know Diana Mid has had some pretty strong performances as well, and that would make sense in terms of locking in the Galio to respond. Typically does pretty well into someone like Diana. Denying that upfront burst could be good, but again, the flex potential is just strong. Worried about locking in that Galio and running into another AD mid laner here, but we'll see how it pans out. Already looking strong though for TD Harmony and their flex potential. Let's see what Jolly Rogers Black Pearl want to be able to respond with. It's probably going to be an ADC here, you'd imagine. Just get that off the cards, get yourself a nice strong AD to make your comp that much more efficient.
Or on the other hand, you have the Monkey, the jungler, the
Okay.
Wukong coming in for a Samurai. We'll have to see. They apparently are a big fan of big circle ultis that knock people up, and Wukong will provide that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Both of those will be AoE teamfight ultimates, and maybe they're considering dropping AD to 4-5 here. I mean, could do that if the pool is wide enough. Victor, Diana, though, does this give away the flex? Is there flex potential for Victor bot lane here, Diana mid, or will it just be Victor in that mid slot? Diana then forced off into the jungle. We'll see. Could be a good matchup into the Wukong for sure, but then all sorts of flex potential comes around, right? Wukong could be put into the top. Galio could be put into the top. So maybe it's too early to start calling anything yet. Both these teams hiding their cards pretty well. The only thing I'm confident in now, Beg, is Cassante. Pretty sure that's going to go towards top.
I don't know. I mean, if we're cooking, why can't we just cook the Cassante into the mid lane? That would be a decent matchup into Galio, as we got Gwen getting picked up for Jolly Rogers. As I think this ends the cooking a little bit. I think Gwen ends up just going top lane into the Cassante. It's one of those classic counter picks into the champion, one of the ones that have been around since the champion's release, and one of the few champions that can match it toe to toe. That being said, we got the second phase of bans. We got TD Harmony banning out the Misfortune. Jolly Rogers again banning this Tark just like they did last time, and they're banning the Braum is their final ban. That's a little bit interesting to see. And It must very much respecting the support for TD Harmony, as they don't want them on those protectors.
Yeah, interesting. And this is why I like casting with you, Beg. You're top focused. I'm bot focused. No one cares about mid lane, so we cover every important part of the map just between the two of us. So definitely looks like a counterpick top lane matchup there, and it will be 4-5 drop for 80 carry. Seraphine Misfortune taken away. Thinking about the Jhin, I'm gonna be honest, Beg. I really don't like Jhin in a draft like this. Diana Cassante, that's really tough to play in as Jhin. It's the same problem as Fortune has, right? Really hard to keep that ulti going. But on top of it, now you just never, ever kill their tank unless it's Gwen dumping all her damage into the front line, but that's just not what you want.
Yeah, maybe they were just thinking with the Corki, they were just having too many mana issues, so they wanted to go with the Jhin and just have something to do over the top. Hope their top side can carry them into this second game of the Best of 5 series.
Yeah, I mean, I could not agree with you more. Beg and Sivir will be the lock here for the likes of TD Harmony. Again, interesting. I don't mind Sivir, but Spell Shield doesn't get that much value. Yes, you can Spell Shield the Galliwalt or maybe a taunt at most, but again, just seems tricky. Rakan, though, I do like a nice follow up there into the Diana, or maybe even able to kick it off. Can work well. Big, bring everyone together, make things happen in those skirmishes where TD Harmony can thrive. In response, so Leona is a classic counter to the Rakan, able to lock him down. If he ever goes for that knock up, stun him midair, keep him in place. He's not tanky enough to get back to his 80 carry. Instead, just kidding, I've been baited. Why not go with Nami?
Yeah, I'm not so sure how I feel about this roundup for Jolly Rogers. Like, I was feeling it those first three picks. I liked the Galio into the Diana, the Wukong. Sure, it's fine. It's things, and like Gwen was doing good into the Cassante, but this Jin, this Nami, I'm not so sure how it fits with the team, and I'm not so sure how Jolly Rogers is gonna play out this game now.
I mean, it's certainly got to be around your top side, right? You have a hard winning counter matchup in top. I'm sure you can educate me more on that, how that lane really looks. But Jin, just there to assist, right? Get the traps down, get the snare going, make sure everyone stays in place, provide the extra threat to make sure the Bruisers can run into the back line and deliver the Galio CC. Get the Wukong and Gwen onto this Sivir, onto the Victor, and just hope that it's enough. You can stat check them at one, maybe two items. Nami heals, maybe wave over the top just to reinforce. But I got to agree with you, Beg. I think this TD Harmony comp looks just a little bit better. They have the flexibility of someone like Sivir and Victor who can both kite forward and back and still have the power picks of someone like a Diana, a Cassante, and a Rakan. TD Harmony, I think, set themselves up for success here, but remember how game one started, Beg. We weren't so confident in their ability to play this game out cleanly, but they did surprise us the later things went on.
Yeah, speaking of how the game started, we saw Jolly Rogers with that level 1 invade. Will we be gifted in round 2 in this game, in the second game of another spicy level 1, or will we see things a little bit more tamed, a little bit more standard, and just see spot 5 pointing normal CSing? Only time will tell. But like you said, TD Harmony, like in the draft, they have the scaling team comp, which is something that I think in this type of elo is a benefit to have, as the scaling with the Victor, with the Silver, will be discussing in the late game. Meanwhile, for Jolly Rogers, you're gonna have to hope this Gwen can make the difference and carry the team, as they will be a huge side lane threat, and not to mention they can also team fight huge with their W and their ulti being a great engage tool.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you, Beg. I mean, I guess we'll settle it here and now. You said earlier on you expected TD Harmony to run this one clean sweep. Now that draft has come through, are you changing your prediction at all? Are things maybe a little different? Have you shaken at all in your prediction, or are you sticking with your guns, TD Harmony clean?
I'm gonna stick with my guns, TD Harmony. Gonna go with the 2-0. That being said, maybe Chukos can prove me the liar and carry their team into their first victory of this best of 5 series.
We'll see. Maybe the night is young, or maybe the candles are about to be blown out here on the dreams of a JRBP run deep into playoffs. We will find out soon as our spectator delay begins to count down. Go get your popcorn, go get your soda, your candy, whatever you need. Settle in. This might be one hell of a series. Beg and I will be right back after a quick break as we load onto Summoner's Rift. Welcome back, everyone. We are on to Summoner's Rift for game number 2. Beg, this is where men are made and losers go home. It is as simple as that and as unforgiving as that, really, as we kick things off with another 5-stack. It's always a 5-stack.
Yeah, I mean, but they're all stacking in the same bush this time instead of invading like they did last time. And we also have to shout out to the lady of the game, Sapphire Gem, is in fact the female summoner instead of the with the rest of the men.
Yeah, duking it out there with the rest of them. Love to see it, and we'll see how things play out. We were looking over summoners, we were looking over everything, seeing if there's anything abnormal to start the game. I always like to see if there's anything a little strange. Outside of maybe some of the draft selections that we were talking about, everything seems to be pretty stock standard. Maybe you could say Gwen running Flash is a little odd, but nothing I would really talk about all too much. And a Grass Victor, love to see, as you mentioned, into a melee matchup, can do very well, but should be a pretty normal one here to kick things off. I'm excited to see how game 2 goes forward, if things get as bloody and as exciting as they were in game 1.
Yeah, I mean, another thing we have to look at, we have double exhaust in the bot lane for both supports, and like as you said, there's a flash for Gwen and a ghost for Cassante, rather matching the flash. That being said, I actually think the Gwen having flash is actually a little bit of a big misstep, as having the ignite or exhaust as an option for them actually makes their lane so much stronger, as they should not need the flash, as they have their E on a short enough cooldown where they should be playing aggressive and looking for big trades, but maybe not having the super comfortable mastery of their champion. The flash provides that a little bit more safety.
Yeah, I mean, Flash does provide safety, but I always like to look at Flash as a tool to dodge a skill. And what are we really flashing this game, right? Maybe a Diana ulti at best, or a Khan knockup. But outside of that, there's really not all that much, especially when you are really just trying to run in and get onto that back line. So I would agree with you. Chukos may be a little sad when it comes later on, trying to extend those fights into Complex and his Cassante, but we'll see. Maybe he's got something up his sleeve that we're just not aware of for now. Instead, though, we'll just get that shove in on top side with Samurai coming to reinforce, make sure that top lane is safe to get as much of an advantage early on as possible.
Yeah, and then mid lane, Frost just poking out Courtlow, just in those grass procs, getting the health stack and just punishing this Galio for their weaker laning phase in the melee first range matchup. Courtlow wants to try to find engages, but at this point they would just be going into their death. But that being said, there they go. They go inside, get a little trade back, but now Frost is trading in another grass proc, but actually a halfway decent trade for the Galio.
Yeah, both these champs are really, really good traders, at least levels 1 through 4. You can see a Courtlow's trading pattern there. Quick, simple dash in, use all your spells. Frost, whenever that grasp is up, we'll be looking to trade with that Q. Extra shielding, extra damage, and here we go. Dashing forward once again, won't catch it, and now Courtlow's going to eat a lot of his health bar on the back. Is there enough mana to push and trade, though, is the question. I don't think Frost has enough, so he will be relegated to one or the other. So far, looks like just trying to chip away at that health bar, but instead it's a top side dive. Complex looking to dash his way out of this one. The turret is ramped up. Samurai, he doesn't flash out of it. First blood to Complex off a misplay.
Yeah, Complex just saying thank you for the free kill to Samurai, and thank you for making my lanes a lot easier. And there again, that HP difference. If Chukos has the Ignite, has the Exhaust, it could have made a huge difference, but we'll have the flash and watch their jungler die.
Samurai, a little unlucky there for Jolly Rogers. Black Pearl trying to get that topside dive, does not work out. Instead, will be headed back home, and that means a big, gold lead now to the likes of Complex, but an XP lead and a jungle tempo lead here to Toxin, as he's able to continually farm that jungle all the time in the meanwhile.
Yeah, last game we saw Jolly Rogers, get those kills early and, keep the gold lead on their side. But this game, look at this gold lead already. We got one kill and it's already almost 1,000 gold lead for TD Harmony. this is looking like the first game might have been a little bit of a fluke, and TD Harmony is going to be completely in control of the game from start to finish.
All right, Beg, you're getting a little confident with your prediction. You're trying to maybe will it into existence. You're clean to. I'm not there yet. I'm not there. I've seen enough of these two teams in the short time that I've been casting them to know that things don't go as smoothly as planned. So I'll wait. I'll hold my judgment until the Baron throw. Okay, one of them's gonna throw around Baron. We just got to see which one it is, and then I'll make my call.
Nah, I'm sticking with my guns here. Want to know why? I
Hmm.
have to give the props to I Am Atomic. They have boots in their first
Okay.
deck. I mean,
that's
it, it's over. It's over. GG. Next series, next life. TD Harmony pulling out the 3-0.
Some may say that it is immediate growth, as I think some like to call that. But Atomic, we love you, man. I'm glad. I'm glad there's some boots in the back pocket of this for Khan. Definitely gonna need those to be able to move around the map and make some plays, and including taking a dragon here for Toxin on this Diana. Already picking up that one real early.
They're also rotating up top, looking to get this Dragon and Grubs play, and it looks like Jolly Rogers is just accepting and falling back. That being said, they did rotate their support, so maybe we will see a battle over these Scuttle Grubs.
Yeah, we'll see if anyone wants to contest, but I mean, Samurai's just hitting the recall button. They're giving this one up as well. And we talked about this in break, Beg. I just am not confident in the scaling of this red side draft. You have a Jin trying to hit a Cassante and a Diana. It just seems really impossible for this AD carry to come online unless your Gwen and Wukong are the ones able to carry this game forward in these mid-game skirmishes. I don't know if giving up these objectives is the right call. They're already 2-0 down. There has to be a different play here at some point.
Yeah, and that's why you saw Jolly Rogers try to look for that top lane play at the start of the game, but it just didn't work out. Samurai giving up first blood, and now maybe they're just off their tempo, off their their game plan, and trying to find some way back in it, but not having an easy time doing so. As Shuckle's looking for the all-in, popping the ulti, we got the Ghost come popped up by Complex, as both laners are just throwing everything at each other, but Complex all the wiser for it as they almost get the W back, almost get looking for the all out and trying to find that solo kill.
I mean, yeah, there's an amp tome to a Negatron. I just don't think that you have the damage at this point, Chukos, to be able to gnaw through the resistance here Complex has built up for himself, and instead we'll lose that ulti. That's basically all your all-in ability, and now Complex is looking to go all out. Chukos having to use that flash we talked so much about earlier, and now is trying to collect this wave on the turret. Could be in some 1v1 trouble. Complex thinking about it, but I think it's dangerous under the turret. Instead, he just pulls him out of it for now. Dashing back in is Complex, looking to make that 1v1 happen, but Shukel's wiser, dashes away. Hitting that recall, will teleport back up and try to collect the wave if things get a little too dicey.
Then they actually cancel their recall. They were greeting for this wave. They do not want to concede it, but as they realize Complex doesn't have that much mana left, so they really shouldn't be able to die the Gwen, and they will pick up this wave as Samurai continues to clear up towards their top laner. Maybe we'll look for a TP play into a top lane gank, but that being said, Complex playing it safe, playing it respectfully, recalls himself as well.
And I want to point out something that you specifically mentioned in game one, Beg. A silent but deadly killer here for the side of TD Harmony. The CS leads that are already starting to accrue. Look at mid, look at jungle. These CS leads are huge as Cortlo has to burn his flash. Frost is doing way too much pressure under the turret there. It's silent, and it's not the flashiest way to win games, but it's certainly a consistent one if you're able to just build small, minor, but meaningful leads here in your lanes. It just pays off so much when it comes time to check those wallets in the mid-game skirmishes.
Yeah, and last time Jolly Rogers had those kills to counter out that CSD, but this time those kills aren't there, and we're just seeing this gold lead continually grow slowly but surely for TD Harmony. Even though they have done a decent job, stopping the bleeding a little bit and keeping the gold at about 1,000 gold lead, but still could be a big fight that could happen that could completely break this game wide open.
Yeah, it could definitely change the course of this game and maybe the course of the series or the entire playoffs run for either of the teams. Truly, momentum cannot be understated and how valuable something like that is in a tournament like this. But here comes a play flashing forward. Atomic trying to get his way out, still has a flash of his own, and I think he will be just fine. Spell shield for Kitticus will give him a little bit of movement speed, but it does not save Atomic. Force shot will collect it, and Walkie on the Jhin will get kill number 1 for his squad.
Yeah, Tonic almost gets out, burns the flash, uses the E, creates a nice amount of distance. The only problem is they kind of greeted with their exhaust there. I mean, think if they would have just used the exhaust to negate some of that Wukong damage, they would have been much better off. But they hold on to it, maybe looking for a big play that happened over this dragon and realize it's a death, but it's not a bad death, to be honest, for the support of TD Harmony.
Yeah, it's not the worst, right? And your only fear is that this Jhin can maybe pressure that lead into getting one more kill at some point, and that starts to snowball out of control. But again, Jhin into Cassante Diana is not easy to play, so keep your eyes on Walkie and how he tries to pilot this champion at come mid-game. Nice snare, though, and that's where things get tricky. When you start layering the CC, Frost could be in a little bit of trouble, but the shots don't land. Atomic is here in time, will shield up his mid laner, but Frost, Summoner burned while Dragon is up.
Yeah, Jhin right there showing their what they bring to the team. They're going for the rotation that was unexpected by Frost. Has to burn their flashes so he can get hit by the Jhin W. And now we have this dragon coming up, flash down from their mid laner, from their support. What will TD Harmony do? They are looking to pressure in with their support and bot laner there, but their jungler and mid just aren't there yet, but they're starting to close in. Galio looking for the engage, gets on top of the Tonic, who has no flash to get out, and will be the first kill. Going over the Sapphire Gem, now it's on to the ADC. Kiss trying to run, has to burn the flash to get out. It's all going to the side of Jolly Rogers right there.
I mean, what are they doing there? Kitticus and Atomic just deciding that they get to walk up 2v4 in the face of all of TD Harmony? In the face of Jolly Rogers? It's just not where you need to be. Your Diana's on top side doing grubs, maybe trying to think about a contest, but you have to be patient. You're not the tank, right? Atomic is not a very tanky champion at this point, and just kind of gives over some freebies. Now they're looking to return the favor. His flash is burned. There goes the exhaust after the fact. Nice bubble to stop Toxin from now, but the flash forward is there. Huge Nami wave and the snare into the turret. And what's going on, Bang? This wasn't the script. It wasn't supposed to be Jolly Rogers making the outplays.
Yeah, I mean, the Nami showing up. We were, disrespecting the pick a little bit, but lands the bubble, lands the ulti, makes the engage from Toxin turn into just a free kill for the side of Jolly Rogers, Black Pearl.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it made him look silly. It's not Toxin's fault. There's only one way in on Diana, and it is forward, but perfectly played by Sapphire Gem. You got to give her props. That was really well executed to stuff the engage from Toxin and Atomic. Good flash from Walkie Top as well to be able to get his way out of the initial look here from Atomic, but instead will find themselves 3-1, still down around 1,000 gold. So let's not get ahead of ourselves quite yet, but you can see the light is there. The fire has been lit. The outplays are starting to happen, but you need to continue. And maybe they continue up here on top side as Chukos looking to dash his way around this fight. Oh, R3 does not land, and a Courtlow will not be able to chase him down because of it. And Chukos now just has to run. There's no way this fight is looking good. 1v2. Chukos is going to be dragged back. Toxin now looking to make this play happen. Doesn't land it quite yet. No Moonfall available either. Taunted up under the turret. Frost uses a little E, do a little damage, and will walk away.
Yeah, Complex just showing no fear right there from the double AP threat coming in. As we see them already have the fully completed Kinnick Rooker, just this shows at them 2v1, and looks like Chokos is trying to still find a play. Gets the ulti on top from Galio. Now pops the ghost. Tonic is here to back up their top laner. So is Samurai. So is Jhin. So is Sapphire Gem. The Sapphire Gem gets on top of 2, and there's the first kill. Samurai killing. I don't know what's going on at this point.
Can they kill him? Can they kill Complex? I mean, I think he's just a Goliath in this team fight, and I don't think anyone can actually touch him. And so eventually, the alarm bells are sounding here for the likes of Jolly Roger to say, wait, don't chase into this Cassante. I don't think we have the damage. Atomic goes under the turret. I think if they were ready to punish that, maybe Atomic could have lost his life for it, but instead we'll just get out with about a third HP remaining. I think you're absolutely right. It's all about the Jin ult opening up, making the fight chaotic. They're not really sure, can I block? Can I find the engage? Can I move forward? And well, Kitop able to cause enough mayhem in the fight that they're able to get one kill and get out for it. Top turret should be okay here. I don't think a Courtlow lets this one drop. Does he have a Q and a passive auto in this backline? Because this doesn't look like a fight that they want. Likes of a Courtlow will be able to clear out the wave in time. Okay, Beg, we have a minute to breathe after all of what we've just witnessed here on top side before Dragon comes up again. 1-1 in Dragons. Gold is, you know, about 1.5-ish difference here. So not, again, anything major. Still anyone's game here in game 2.
But now we have the bigger factor. 2 turrets have already gone down. TD Harmony having very much map control now in top and bot lane. We do have Gwen looking to trade back one, hopefully, but it doesn't even look like they're actually going to be able to, as we have a TP coming down in the bot lane. And as soon as that Cassante shows up, this Gwen is going to have to run away, because that is a monster you do not want to face for the time being, with them sitting on that Candy Cruiser plus Aegis of the Legion. And Jolly Rogers starting to find those kills back in this game, getting them kill lead, but again the gold just not going their favor thanks to the laning from TD Harmony.
Yeah, they're definitely ones that excel in their lanes, one able to find leads and make that sort of lead matter. Rift Herald's going to be summoned up now as Dragon spawns. 17 minutes into the game. Quick check on itemization and summoners. Do your eyes around. Make sure you know what's going on, because this fight could be critical. Samurai, boom, immediately, just like that, has to flash away, and all of a sudden, everyone's out. No longer interested. Give this drag. There is not a way in. Jukels, that's not the direction the rest of your team is going, my friend. You're going the wrong way. You're going over the wrong wall, and Jukels is going down. Now Atomic's hit and kill number 1. Frost are going to continue the trade, but the Justice Punch will get the likes of a Courtlow out. Dragon secured, and Chukels finds his first death in the game, but a big one and a needless one, as that's going to provide a lot of pressure on the mid turret, which absolutely will fall.
Yeah, Chukels just not on the same page as the rest of their team, trying to look for the fight. Samurai now going in for the engage. The Nami ult finds 2. Jin ult over the top. It looks like Toxin will be the first one to fall, but here comes Tonic with the re-engage, getting on top of 2 with the neck up on the Frost, gets the kill on the Samurai, gets the kill on Articolo. It's a 2-for-1 going for the side of TD Harmony.
Yeah, really well played by Atomic there. Absolutely. On the limit, charms the Galio out of the ult channel so Courtlow can't end up creating that space, and Samurai and a Courtlow both lose. Again, Samurai losing his flash earlier in the jungle means he cannot gap close properly in the team fight. That combined with Atomic's big play onto a Courtlow means they both fall in the team fight, and all of a sudden TD Harmony strike back, and they strike back fast on a counterpunch. What was looking like a Jolly Rogers play on the mid turret, it turns around, and all of a sudden TD Harmony now with a pretty sizable lead and a Dragon lead here as we crest 19 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, TD Harmony taking control of this game, has all the outer turrets gone. We'll see how they play this out. Will they, put us a stranglehold onto Jolly Rogers, or will Jolly Rogers be able to fight their way back into this game? One thing I have to, ask you here, because I'm not super accompanied to the builds of Jins. How do you feel about this static Civ rush with a seal item coming second?
Yeah, it's probably going to be a rapid fire second is what I would guess. It's a wave clear, mobility, sort of agency style build from Jin. And I mean, if your bruisers are strong enough, I absolutely get it right. You don't need to be the one to do all the damage. You just need to live, get your autos off, maybe find a snare every now and then, get waves pushed. But that's just not the case for Walkie Top this game. I think an LDR would do him so much better than this kind of a build. So I'm glad you pointed out. We'll see what the damage looks like. If he's hitting the right targets, he'll do damage. But if he's hitting Cassante and Diana, I don't think that's going to be the case. You can see the damage now on Akitikis. It's not bad, but it's just not maybe what it could have been. if he had a little bit more AD in this build. But for now, we'll just be back to clearing waves, pushing out, trying to get a little bit more map control, pushing likes out of these people that just live in their jungle. Frost dropping wards, Toxin, invading the spot side, getting vision absolutely everywhere, and even shutting up Otacon.
Yeah, TD Harmony not fearing the fight at all, just doing the Otacon. That being said, they are in fact losing out their mid turret as it is just getting whomped on by all of Jolly Rogers, who I don't know if this is a decided trade or if they just don't know that the Otacon's being taken out. But either way, I think it's a pretty good move for Jolly Rogers, as it will break open the mid lane turret for them and give them the first turret of the game, and they probably couldn't have fought that Otacon no matter what.
Yeah, I don't think they were in a position. Absolutely zero vision control. If you look at the bot side jungle, just no real way to enter. And especially with Samurai, again, still not having his flash, there is no real delivery system for this Galio. So gotta be careful with how you blow that summoner. Samurai doing his best to just counter jungle here, get anything back. And while we take a minute to look at the CS here, I just want to acknowledge the huge CS lead Toxin has built up over Samurai and Frost. Gotta point out his performance in game 1 and 2. Have a great production team behind the scenes here offering these stats up for us. 7.43 CS per minute on a regular season average, and this elo is fantastic in competitive. I mean, Frost has absolutely been headed in CS and gold both games, and you gotta credit his smart laning to it. And Toxin doing just as well, if not better, in the jungle in game number 2. Really well played to both this mid and jungle, and they are showing themselves out in this playoff series.
Yeah, TD Harmony showing why last split they finished second place, losing the finals. This split they're 4-0 and looking to get that championship dub and maybe move on to the next tier of competition.
You're so sold on this narrative. I love it. Like, I want to live my life how you live your casting. You're just sold on it. There's nothing's gonna change your mind. It doesn't matter if the Jhin is 2-0. It doesn't matter if Gwen is surviving the losing lane after what happened early. You're sticking to what you know, and I like it. We'll see what they can do with the Otacon buff, though. They have the false life here for the next few minutes. 7 seconds on drag. I don't think you can contest this realistically, Beg, unless you've got some other narrative you're cooking up in your head. I think we're both agreeing. This one, you gotta fight for soul.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think this is something you can test in any way, shape, or form. The only problem is I don't know if he gets any better. So maybe coin flipping them out flights you can is the best for you, but I don't know. I don't think it's anything you can do, and it's just not something they are looking for. They're just looking to get farm, but the problem is they're not even pushing for vision elsewhere or doing anything crops. They're just conceding and doing nothing off of it, which is why I just think that this game and this series is in TD's Harmony's hands, and it's going to take them messing up for Jolly Rogers to get some wins.
Yeah, I mean, false life here is just expired, so at least there's one angle maybe back into this if they get a good fight like this. 3-man knockup. Samurai's looking to make the play. Huge double knockup, and the knockup from the Galio lands onto 2 as well. Courtlow's trying to find his way back out. Toxin has gone a little bit too far. Excuse me, Atomic went a little bit too far, so he will be kill number 1. What does the chase look like, though? There is no Jhin ult. Nair is up in just a couple seconds, but I don't think the proc will be able to land as Toxin still has that ulti, but instead just retreat. It is turret secured for 1 kill. Maybe a little bit of map pressure, a little bit of room, some air to breathe here finally.
Yeah, I mean, Atomic goes a little bit too deep, burns their flash, thinking that this was the fight that would break the game open for TD Harmony, but the rest of their team was satisfied with just the single turret and getting out. And either way, it's not a bad play for TD Harmony, but it does give a little bit gold back to Jolly Rogers as they get their first kill. But they do have to burn a lot of big cooldowns there, like you said, using the the Wukong ult, using the Jhin ult, using the Nami ult, and only for a single kill.
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be nearly by any means. And I got to point out one thing. Walkie Top, he's hitting the recall. Does he buy longswords? No, it's not an LDR. It's going to be an Infinity Edge. That's fine. That's fine, but I really, really was hoping for an LDR. I know AD carries love the 3-item Infinity Edge Spike. It feels so impactful to finally have that extra crit damage, but I just feel like you need the pen at this point in the game. We're getting so late to the point where even base resistances are getting so high, especially in a champion like Jhin. If your autos aren't doing damage, you just kind of don't do anything. So Rocket Top, we'll see how the damage pours through, but Chukul's now on to the rest of it's a blue side. I mean, just look at the atomization. 2.5, 2.5, 2.5, 2.5, all the way down the board. It's so much extra gold here to the likes of this blue side squad. And yeah, I just don't know if TD Harmony can really ever take a losing fight unless they're at a numbers disadvantage.
Yeah, but one thing you have to say is the pace of this game is significantly slower than last time. I mean, last time we were barely having time to breathe, barely having any time to talk about anything. This game, everyone's kind of playing a lot more respectfully of each other, playing only fighting when they have base cooldowns up, and you know, I think that's the pace of play that TD Harmony is going to succeed in as we see these CS numbers just continue to balloon, even though the laning phase has ended, except for top lane. You have to give Chukos a little bit of credit, as clawed their way back into the CS lead and looking to have an advantage state, and also Wall in the bot lane has also caught up, which is a pretty impressive thing to do against a Sivir who really can look at a wave and just say mine in the stage of the game.
Yeah, I mean, she just catches absolutely every wave with perfection, right? Really hard to deny Sivir any farm. You're absolutely right about that one, but not too bad here for Chukles, as he was put in a little disadvantageous position, to say, in the start of this one. A little bit of a whoopsie under the top turret from the likes of Samurai, but it is all good now. 2 items in. Curious to see what the trades look like, at this point for Chukles with his 2 items in. Walking into Atomic, though. The rest of the team is not around. There is a TP available if something were to kick off, but Samurai's aware. He's got the sweeper going. It's just not enough lockdown there to make things happen. Sapphire Gem thinking about rotating up on Vision, though. You can see the pressure that this Baron draws, but Dragon is still up in 40 seconds, Speg, and that is a huge one for the likes of TD Harmony.
Yeah, I mean, this Dragon's gonna probably lead to the fight that's gonna, decide if Jolly Rogers can get back into this game or if TD Harmony just ends it quickly. That being said, we do have Atonic and Samurai fighting each
Really?
other. Samurai popping the ulti right away, and Atonic will just use the quick. No, it's not the quickness. I don't remember what the W is called. To just get away, and that's a free ulti for absolutely nothing.
Grand entrance, but I guess in that term it's a grand exit, because I mean he just W's away, and now Samurai has no pressure at all on this Dragon. I am genuinely perplexed. Maybe it was a misclick, just trying to combo as fast as you can. You can see the likes of Jolly Rogers know they can't really just give this one up for free. They're trying to scramble into the river as fast as they can. And Courtlow is here. The Genot's going to be popped. Complex looking to do the damage onto the front line for now, but Courtlow's going to be tanked with that Aftershock going to be popped. The Tidal Wave hits on the 3, but it's just not enough. Kittikus is popping that Sivir ulti. On the hunt is the likes of this TD Harmony squad. They're not able to kill anyone yet. They get that Galio, Jhin, Nami, Wukong ultis out, and with all those cooldowns down for one Sivir ulti, I think it is Baron o'clock, my friend. I don't think that Jolly Rogers can contest as the Baron is started up.
Yeah, I mean, it's Dragon Soul, it's the Sivir ult, the only thing being used. They still have Diana, they still have Cassandra, they still have Rakan. But that being said, Jolly Rogers, it doesn't look like they want to give this up. They are trying to look for the fight, as they are a little bit split here in terms of what they're doing. And now they've completely turned to look at the fight. Atonic looks to be the first one to die, but Tonic with the huge ulti, and Kittikus gets the first kill, and Kittikus is running the game over. The Victor ulti is huge. They're all flashing away. They're all trying to live, but it's just not going to be the fact as Cassante, it finishes it off onto the Jhin. It's a 4-0. It's probably just the game itself.
Yeah, I mean, that's got to be it, right? They can certainly end the game here. It's only Sapphire left alive, and I don't think she's got enough left in the tank. There is no wave, so maybe 15 seconds Samurai can spawn. Maybe, yeah, actually, without a wave, they're not able to do this, but I don't know. This one's going to be close. 8 seconds left. Nexus turrets are not going to be pressured here. Instead, playing this one safe. Sure, the Nexus doesn't fall here, Beg, but this has got to be a death blow here to the likes of Jolly Rogers as they are on death's door. The nail is in place. All you got to do is swing that hammer one more time in this series. This game might just be a wrap.
Yeah, I think that the fact that Nexus turrets respawn there makes you a little bit more weary about going for that play, because let's say you go for it and it doesn't work out. That means you not only won't have the advantage of having those Nexus turrets gone for the rest of the game, you also lose the Baron. So, I mean, they just decide, let's play it safe. We just won the fight. We're in total control. We'll take the recalls. We'll set this Baron up, and then we'll just end the game after that.
Yeah, and I mean, you sure you got one more game under your belt here if you are the likes of Jolly Rogers, assuming this one does go south here at the end. It's a best of 5, so you'll have one more opportunity to make it happen. But with the momentum this hard in favor of TD Harmony, things just get so desperate in a third and final game, but never done until that Nexus falls. So we'll see what Jolly Rogers have in store for us. But Baron Vision all under contest now. Clear out those pinks, get as much control as possible. Maybe take one more final fight and put this game to rest. Maybe make Beg's prediction come true as a Courtlow trying to get his way out. Frost over the wall. You can see how desperate Jolly Rogers is to get any vision on this Baron. As here we go. Samurai now looking to make the play. Double knockup, but the rest of the squad is arriving, and Samurai is going to get caught out here by this Diana ulti. Atomic is looking to dive his way onto the back line, and Sapphire Gem's already down to about half HP. Atomic will be killed by the Jhin, but I think that's all the damage that will be done. 2 for 1 as they look to push the base and end this one out.
Yeah, I mean, Samurai, again, tries to pull the trigger, tries to do the ulti, trying to look for something, but it just hasn't worked out for them this game. They don't have the damage that they had on Diana on this Wukong, and it's looking like it's just going to be 2-0 going for TD Harmony, and we'll have to see if Jolly Rogers, Black Pearl, will be able to pull us back and make this a series, or if we'll just see a nice clean 3-0 for TD Harmony.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be a little tough here for the likes of Jolly Rogers. If you're this squad, you got to think, okay, what are we doing wrong? How do we pull this series back? All the questions start popping up in your head. How do we not go home tonight? How is our season not done tonight? All you got to do if you are TD Harmony is keep a level head, keep that consistent play going. It looks like they have the series on wrap, but again, we'll see how things unfold. A quick break for you all is headed shortly. Just want to update you all on the other side of this playoffs run. Contingent Purple currently 1-0 over TD Chrono Break at the moment as they head into game 2, Beg. All right, well, your prediction's looking good, man. I don't know. Are you gambling, man? You put a little money on this match? Because looks like your odds are looking pretty solid.
I mean, if there was odds on this game, I think TD Harmony would be the heavy favorite. So I don't know if I would want to place those type of bets. I'm more of an underdog favorite when I'm making bets. Gotta go for the big swings.
Listen, even if you make 10 cents off this next match, I think it's a pretty sound investment. But I love having my mind changed. I love a comeback story in League of Legends. And just like you, I love myself an underdog. Let's see if Jolly Rogers can raise their flag and take game 3 and send us further into the evening. Or if this one will be a clean 3-0 from the likes of TD Harmony. We'll go to a short break. After that, we'll be back with draft in game 3. Here in our playoffs coverage. Don't go anywhere. Beg and I will return shortly. Welcome back, everyone. It is game 3 time. Do or die, sink or swim, whatever you want to call it here for Jolly Rogers Black Pearl. Gotta change the course of this series if they want to stay alive in playoffs of Arbiter, or even just send us to a game 4. So far, this has been all TD Harmony.
Yeah, we got the draft getting started, and we're seeing the same bands getting played out that we've been seeing all series long. We'll see if there's any adaptation for TD Harmony in terms of their last band, and see if they'll let the Diana through for Samurai this time to get back onto it, or if TD Harmony decides no more Diana for the rest of this series.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how the draft changes here from JRBP, because I mean, I haven't necessarily disliked their drafts. I just think there are better solutions to the problems that happen. So we'll see if things change. Maybe they go for a more simplistic play style, or try to maybe pull out a wombo combo. You know, when things are not looking great in a series, sometimes you just revert back to what's easiest, ease of execution. And well, it seems to be Diana is the answer, which I'm not going to disagree with. This champion has been high prio all across the world recently. Seems to be doing well in this series, so I don't fault him. I think it's just going to be the rest of the draft that needs to follow suit.
Yeah, I mean, Samurai did a good performance in game 1, and Toxin, did decently well on it. But that's being said, we got the Vi getting hovered locked in. I like that champion into Diana Beast, even though you can't match them in terms of their clear speed. It's just it's a point and click ulti that will get a fight started. And Misfortune was a disgusting pick for Kidius in the first game, and looks to run it back in game 3.
Yeah, I mean, this is where you should absolutely slam your bot lane. I think Braum is a must here. You just take Braum, denies MF so much value. I mean, Leona is fine. It's good engage for the Diana, but like a quirky Braum here just feels so strong already. Anything else they throw on top could be really good. Diana quirky is fine, but the question is, what do you do into Vi Misfortune, right? It's just simple. They press R on you. There's no counterplay. You just die if you don't have any option. I feel like a Braum would go well. Instead, I think they're just going to lock in this layout. It's okay. It's just not, in my opinion, optimal. Seraphine is interesting. Maybe a pick away here from the likes of TD Harmony would layer over the top well over that bullet time, which we saw them use so effectively in game 1. Instead, will be JRBP's pick here in game number 3.
Yeah, I mean, with the Seraphine, there's also the chance of it being a flex pick with the mid lane and support role. And, Sapphire Gem showed she had really strong performance on the Nami last game, and giving them a little bit more agency with the Seraphine and a little bit more damage. Maybe it will be the difference. But that being said, Frost locking in the Yone once again. They got it banned. They didn't get to play it in game 2 thanks to getting banned. Now it's back up, and it's locked in for TD Harmony.
Yeah, I don't think there's really anything wrong with this CBD Harmony draft. The one point of confusion they had, I think, in game 1 was the Zyra. I don't think it worked out particularly well. I think Samurai got a pretty good lead, so they swapped that puzzle piece out, slotted in Navai, which works just fine with the rest of their composition. Keep all the other parts the same. Now the only question is who's the AP, right? You got to find some sort of AP in top lane here, probably, unless you're going to play some sort of mage and support, but I really would not appreciate with that with Misfortune. So assuming there's an AP top pick here, I think things are fine. And those bans are not coming through from JRBP, right? You're banning no AP top laners. That's definitely where they're going to go. And instead they take the Braum to deny the Seraphine ultimate. All of a sudden, Beg, I'm going to start smashing my keyboard.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit of a disrespect pick, things, held the Seraphine flex and hoping that they would, just thinking it's a sport, so they didn't pick the Braum, but then they pick it anyway. Now it was a great way to cancel out not only the Seraphine, but even this Maokai too. It's going to be a really hard time to kill the Braum through his Unbreakable, even with the, Wombo combo coming from the Seraphine Diana Maokai.
Yeah, I think you just take exhaust on Braum, and this game becomes that much harder to play instantaneously. There is flex potential here still from JRPP, so things could change, and that is not it. I was about to be excited for Xerath. but I'm really, really hoping there's some flex potential here. I don't want to see that Galio into Yon
Oh,
again. That just did not go well. And we've seen R5
don't do
Olaf
it.
incidents before. Oh boy.
Olaf is on. Okay, okay, that's not nearly as good. Still fine for TD Harmony. This Trundle, I mean, it'll have its way with ooh, Darius. I mean, I
Okay.
understand it if they're facing triple melees, but they do have quite a bit of CC for you, Darius. You're gonna have a little bit harder time than you're thinking. Running this game over. I think that Olaf pick would have just sealed the deal. I don't even need to watch the third game, but I can respect it. Maybe Darius they're not as comfortable with it. They decided to go for more comfortable picks. Whereas Jolly Rogers, you have to hope there's a lot of comfort here because it's gonna be hard to break through this TD Harmonies draft, even with just the Braum, the Vi, the Yone, and the Misfortune over the top.
I mean, all due respect and credit to these players. They work hard. They've shown up to playoffs. They deserve to be here. It's all AD on TD Harmony, right? There's not a single lick of AP. You lock in a Galio in hopes there's a mage being picked that this Yone can be flex top. It didn't work out in game one into the Yone. I don't know why you would expect them to just all of a sudden want to flex it on R5. And I'm a little bit of a loss. I really think TD Harmony had a chance to make this draft go a lot different, and JRBP kind of just fell into not a great situation for themselves. But they do, on the bright side, get their hands on that Diana, which has worked really, really well. The Corki has looked strong for sure, and Maokai is a very easy to execute, strong composition just builder. So they got a strong comp. It's just I think it's gonna be hard for both these squads to avoid some of the pitfalls. If TD Harmony go behind, all AD, Lethality, Misfortune will struggle to kill anyone. If JRBP fall behind, their side lanes again are just gonna be miserable.
One thing that I am hoping for the side of Jolly Rogers is some adaptations in towards their build, like you said, with it being an all AD team comp that they're facing. We should not see any Hollow Radiances, whether from the Maokai or the Galio, and hopefully both adapt towards more of an armor setup and look to you know become an unkillable tank later on, even though that will be still pretty challenging thanks to the Yone having good damage even against tanks, and Darius known for just doing the true damage ulti onto the whole team.
Yeah, we'll see if that sort of fantasy has come through. Last real big shout out I want to say here on the draft, at least, is this is the first time Sapphire Gem has been allowed to play her Seraphine. It has been banned 10 times so far. Sapphire Gem not often allowed this champion in this tournament, and I'm excited actually. Sapphire Gem, I think, was one standout player in this squad. I mean, I remember talking specifically about the Nami stuff onto Toxin's Diana. That seemed to be really mechanically calculated and really well played. And if you can line up some big Seraphine ultis with a Diana layering and Corki damage over the top, that could be the wombo they're looking for. And all of a sudden, the momentum shifts when you get one big team fight in your favor, but you just gotta find it first. We'll see how this match plays out, Beg. I don't know. Are you sticking with your guns still? Still a quick 3-0? Are you trying to get to sleep after this? You got somewhere to be?
Oh, I'm thinking, yeah, I'm sticking with the 3-0. The only thing is, I mean, I don't get the time to go to sleep. I just found out I got roommate's mother coming in. I gotta start cleaning after this, so hopefully TD Harmony gives me that extra time and gets me that 3-0.
Well, if you disappear mid-match and I hear scrubbing noises in the background, I'll know what happens. You hear the faucet running, you hear the vacuum cleaner going. I think we'll all understand, but I appreciate the transparency, Beg, because our spectator delay is just about to kick off. Beg, any final words before we might have our final little outro here before our possible last game of the evening?
Uh, I know I'm just gonna, give Jolly Rogers their credit where credit's due. They came in the underdogs. They came out swinging in game one. Maybe they can come out with a game three and force us into a game four.
Yeah, let's look out for it. Look out for that level 1. Look out for those crazy plays. Maybe things get super aggressive in game 3, or we settle back in for a long, long evening. We'll find out here shortly as our delay ticks down. That means put your clocks on for 3 minutes. We're going to come back after a short break with playoffs here for possibly a final game at a clean 3-0 sweep, or the beginning of a reverse sweep all the way to silver scrapes. Only one way to find out, and that's on the Rift. We'll see you there.
Mirrors on the wall, staring back at me. Stranger in the hall, frozen by the scene. Portraits seem to fade, he lost his centerpiece. Can't recall his face, I hope he'll rest in peace. Haunted by my mind, victim or the prey. Everything is fine, take me to my grave. Bury me alive, keeping me astray. Hard to say goodbye to who I am today. Everything is fine, take me to my grave. Haunted by my mind, victim or the prey. Everything is fine, take me to my grave. Bury me alive, keeping me astray. Hard to say goodbye to who I am today. Haunted by my mind, victim or the prey. Everything is fine, take me to my grave. Bury me alive, keeping me astray. Hard to say goodbye to who I am today.
Welcome everyone for what could be the final intro here between myself, Necrox, and my wonderful co-host and colorcaster for the evening, Beg. It's been a pleasure. I hope we get a 5-game series in front of us. Maybe not for the cleanliness of your homestead, but For my sake and for the entertainment of everyone watching, I do hope we get a 5-game series.
Yeah, man. It would be, oh wait, we got Complex getting found out in the top lane far bush. Prones the ghosts, and it looks like that's all that's gonna end up being happening, as Samurai and Chukos will just run away.
Yeah, it's Ghost burned level 1 for Complex. We talked a lot about top lane summoners impacting matchups so much. Definitely a lot less pressure now on Chukles in this 1v1. Probably just doesn't get his flash burned at like level 2.
Yeah, unfortunately, they'll still have the hard time of being able to push through and interact with the first few waves, as it's just a hard matchup for the Maokai to deal with, and without jungle assistance, it's going to be something they're going to have to play throughout. But that being said, uh, yeah, look at this. He's just standing in front of him, not letting him even get close to the wave. He doesn't care about doing the wave himself right now. It's just all about the zoning. And Chuckles is going to try to do their best to get into XP range. Gets the grass proc actually, but it actually ends up costing them.
What? What? That's Darius level 1, Chukles. You just lost your flash. I mean, yeah, I guess he's low, and maybe if Samurai comes up, that could be good, but you're certainly gonna need to make a play off of it, because a Darius with flash without your flash is a scary, scary prospect. Oh, Chukles. Oh, Chukles, my friend.
I can respect the thought. The only problem is you're level 1. If you had QW, that's actually maybe a kill. But you're level 1, you only have the Q. And that man's not gonna just sit under the turret, they're gonna walk out and then be like, huh, neat.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the health will be regen. Okay, there's the Q under the turret, though. Complex getting low, but remember, this is Darius with Conqueror. Things get a little scary. The heal could be coming in. Complex thinking about it. Does have his flash. Man, these health bars are blinking. There is blood to be found here in top side.
Yeah, but the one thing you have to look at is the side of the junglers. You have Tonic is clearing towards the top lane, whereas Samurai is clearing towards the bottom. As long as Complex doesn't die in this wave right now, it's probably just going to be the top laner for Jolly Rogers dying, and that's going to be with their wave being frozen, and that would be disastrous.
Yeah, that would be really tough. Definitely would have to expend the TP. Complex, important. Just don't die in the next 6 seconds while your jungler gets here. I don't know if the combo straight up kills him, but Chukles has no flash. The Q will land, and Chukles now needs to make a choice. Can he kill Complex? Can he get there in time? No, Complex is going to play this one. Take the minion! What? Complex just dies to the minions, and Chukles, he's going to lap all the way to the bank. Yeah, he's dead, but first blood just gift wrapped to him.
Conflict's just greeding out for that kill, then realizes they can't get it, but unfortunately the minions has the back of Jolly Rogers and gets them the first blood. As we got Tonic jumping onto Wally, trying to make something happen, but you're a Braum, so your engage isn't that great as Sapphire Gem pokes back.
Yeah. the Winions, man. The Winions, they are just too OP sometimes, and Bramblevest immediately locked for Chukles into this Darius. Gonna do his best to mitigate this matchup as best as possible, and you would know a little bit about this. Beg, just doing your best to play weak side and hanging on for dear life. I'd say you do that better than any of them.
What? Me weak side? Never. That is completely not the only thing we ever do.
Oh boy, start airing out the team's dirty laundry. Let's get him in here. Oh boy, I think Frost might be a little bit caught out here. Does have his flash. We'll have to burn it. Courtlow won't be able to find anything yet. Another Q. No, Samurai's not able to get it, so will be a recall here for Frost. But Complex doing the top lane thing where he just decides he wants to go proxy, and apparently that's allowed, so that's okay.
Yeah, Shukel's man through my own heart right now, feeling this pain and suffering. But Honestly, it's not the worst for you, right? If you just, you have to pull this wave right now. You shouldn't have let it crash. You had to make it so that he couldn't, do anything else. But that being said, Complex taking their advantage state and looking for a recall of their own. And so Chukos will actually be okay with the fact that the wave crashed out and those be able to kill it before the next mini wave gets here and make it not a slow push, which will be beneficial for them as they, still have to deal with the Darius in the long lane.
Yeah, it definitely could be tricky. Still a pretty good showing here from Chukos, though, in top side, able to find that kill. Will be objectives traded, though, meanwhile, by the rest of the squads. Frost's going to go ahead and pop his ulti, make sure the crossing squad does not kill him in the meanwhile, but he's got to be careful. His team has left one grub up, and it seems as if Toxin wants to fight over it. A Courtlow is 6. Frost is as well. Toxin's going to go down as a Courtlow gets that one with the Winds of War. Shukel's now trying to run away with 0 mana. Atomic is here, but this is not a numbers fight. It is 3v4. As Toxin is down, Frost has no ulti, no flash. Grub will be taken. Atomic going to be justice punched on, taunted up. Will get punched in the face as well. The stun's gonna connect, and all of a sudden, Complex might be the biggest problem, as here comes the Darius resets. Samurai's trying to drop forward onto Atomic, but he's not gonna get it quite yet, and the guillotine will be slicing the throat of Samurai as Complex finds it. 2 kills for him. Grubs as well. Oh, Beg, this game, I think this one might be the one we've been hoping for.
Oh, this game is just springing out some trauma for me. I mean, you just you done your darndest to make this Darius not into a monster. You killed it solo in a 1v2, and it just walks in and gets a double kill. Ah, disaster for the top laner of Jolly Rogers, and now the lane went from hard to near impossible. As it was just a lot of it started with a lot of unsynced but we have a ulti going for Kitticus trying to get some poke out against the barrier in the heal, so they do get the summoners for their ulti, but nothing else coming out of it, as Vi is actually maybe looking to dive, but it's going to be hard with that HP. Oh, they do burn the ulti. Sapphire flashes underneath the turret though, and now Toxin has to run away, and Atomic backs up their jungler, giving them the W for some bonus resistances. But Chuckles, you are pretty far forward. You don't have the jungler assistance. You have to just start running. Does get a nice Q to make some disengage, and they do have their jungler running up. But will it be in time? Chuckles does miss the outside part of the Q, and their ulti is currently down. So Samurai is there to give Chuckles the assist, and that's the kill going back for Jolly Rogers.
I know you are just living your best dream watching this Maokai get away with absolute murder in the top lane, Beg, and I hope it makes you happy, alright? I really, really do, as Juko is able to just hold on for dear life long enough until Samurai is able to get up there. Seeing that the Vi was going for the dive on the bot side, it means a free play to be had on top, and well played by Sapphire Gem. On her Seraphine, get back into that turret, make sure Toxin was forced a little bit too deep, having to burn the ult as well, so overall, not too bad. Pretty close game here. Still a good CS lead, again, that we've been talking about so much here for the likes of TD Harmony on this red side in game number 3. But Jolly Rogers, you can see there's fight there left in them, and they're not willing to give up on this series or their playoff dreams quite yet. As Frost should be okay here. Has the ult just in case, but he'll be fine. This jungle, though, is being absolutely ravaged by Toxin.
Yeah, punishing off the tendency for Samurai to be looking for these ganks, and gets Toxin the ability to go in there, steal the camp, get out, using the Vault Breaker, get over the wall.
Well played, and I think the next play here, we'll see, Beg, is a play on this dragon, unless Sapphire just dies. There's a bullet time. I feel like that could have been a kill with a Brahmin bullet time over the top, but instead will live, maybe opting to hold the cooldowns here. You can see, yeah, everyone's pinging, hey, let's keep an eye on this dragon, or maybe it just wasn't enough mana.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking at Achilles, it was actually at, unfortunately, 94 mana when the person walked in there, and they decided to use that E, and that just made them not have enough mana for their ulti.
Yep, that's just, gotta keep those resources. By the way, little tip for everyone watching, I don't know what y'all's ELO is, but there's a little setting that you can click to see your mana costs on your sort of spell bar on your HUD down at the bottom, so you know exactly how much mana things are going to cost. If you do a little quick mental math, oh, I need 100 for my ulti, and I need 80 for my E. I gotta have 180 mana to be able to ER on Misfortune. So enjoy that. Maybe hopefully you climb a little rank with that. Okay, here we go. Now fight time on 2 Grubs. Samurai is gonna be the target for now. Nice. Fate sealed onto 2. Samurai trying to get away. He will for now, but a flash Q3 from Frost will take him down. And Chugles now has to run into the safety of his turret. It is 1-0. And it looks like TD Harmony go back to the Grubs.
Yeah, I mean, they're just not being patient enough. They were rotating Sapphire up there as well, but they, side of TD Harmony was there first, and Diana went in and got Galio ulted, but afterwards they had nothing to do, and they just had to try to run, and Frost, not letting them get out, uses that flash to secure the kill for the team.
Well played, and Kitticus now trying to do his best to 1v1 this Corki, and there's the barrier. Bullet time, not enough, and Kitticus, if he's able to flash forward into this Corki, he might be able to find himself a kill. He should be very fast, but does have the cleanse, doesn't decide to use it, uses it really late, and Kitticus now might just drop. The Seraphim ulti's not going to land. Frost able to dodge out onto that one. Courtlow's going low. Snap back from the Soul Unbound should keep Frost safe, and Walkie Top gets away with murder as well. And this game is dicey. Almost a punchback there from Jolly Rogers, but not quite enough damage on a Courtlow.
Yeah, 3 people got that fight with like less than a total of 600 HP, but it was enough for each of them to just get out. And but this will be Dragon going inside of TD Harmony, using the advantage of having the mid laner and bot laner having a recall. Samurai not looking too much like they want to give it up. They're trying to look to see if it's a possibility, but decides against it and just walks away.
I feel like after every play like this, Peg, we've seen, this is where TD Harmony really shines. After small skirmishes, after fights go 1 for 2, 2 for 1, 3 for 2, whatever it is, it always feels like they're the ones taking an objective. They're the ones laying down critical vision and able to help their team as Complex. Man, the caster curse is so real. I wasn't trying to curse you, man, into running it down and giving over free kill, but Complex is dead. Samurai picking up kill number 2.
Complex, while he maybe doesn't want the caster curse to kiss assist for you, I am loving it every second, because you, my man, are playing Darius, you're playing super aggro, you're going there, you don't have any vision, you don't have your jungler there. Realize that your bot lane is in a huge advantage state, and you just got that dragon. You don't need to be making those type of plays. Play a little bit more patient and just realize that you have your team to back you up. You don't need to, force it for now.
Can you put that sort of manuscript to all my solo queue top laners that just absolutely beat each other to death after 8 minutes? The game has been decided by top, because it would be really nice to just have a nice, quiet, peaceful farming session for 30 minutes. But unfortunately, that's just not how the game is played, Beg. Unfortunately, we must fight.
Well, of course, you just said that was solo queue. You can't. That's a completely different game. Competitive, you can trust your teammates. Solo queue, heck no. Fight.
Beg, run it down in solo queue. Put on some herbal tea and some jazz music in competitive. Got it. All right. Lesson learned. Now I can be just as good as Beg in top, right? That's how this works.
Totally.
The sarcasm I detected.
Well, one thing I'm noticing here that I'm enjoying is, if we look at that Galio, even though I don't understand why we're in garage sale mode, we do see that Chain Vest, so I don't think we're going to see Hello Radiance. I think we are seeing Sunfire, but meanwhile, Vi getting the ulti onto Sapphire Gem, who burns the flash to get out of it, but misses their ulti, but gets 2 ultis for 1 for their flash.
Everyone kind of missed everything possible there. I feel like someone should die, even if the Seraphine ult connects on the back end. Maybe there's follow through from Samurai to make a play, but the miscalculated flash timer maybe just makes the difference. And Sapphire, yeah, she'll live. Won't have the flash yet for next fight though, so maybe she'll be the target on this Seraphine when it comes Dragon and number 3 time. But Frost again, just making this Yone look so strong, and a Courtlow who just cannot withstand this pressure.
Yeah, Courtlow thinking they could, do the trade with their Justice Punch in, but unfortunately, it doesn't seem like the buffer, went to their advantage, and Frost just landed Qs after Qs after Qs on them, making the trade completely go to their favor.
All right, we're gonna place a little wager here. All right,
Alright.
who gets the next +2 team fight win? Who comes out of the next team fight 2 kills ahead? Is it TD Harmony or is it the likes of Jolly Rogers? This does not count. This one.
Well-
All right, come on. Complex, stop it. Stop it. You're not helping my fun, Complex. This doesn't count. Complex is dead. Frost is now going to be caught out as well as the Galio ulti comes over the top. He's going to have to flash away. Frost looking to survive, but Wildkey is 1v1. The barrier's going to take him out, but Kitticus is able to clean him up on the back end as well. Now Toxin looking to re-engage, but Atomic, Toxin, and Kitticus are in a little bit of trouble. It's 3v4. They don't have the members to help them. Complex, remember, died before anything else started. And now it's time for Rift Herald.
Yeah, right there again, it's Complex showing the disrespect. They just want to fight on this behalf. The re-engage from Vi going on to Sapphire Gem, who burns their ulti on top of it. Kitticus has a nice ulti, but it gets cancelled almost instantly by Chuckles. Now Toxic has to just run away. Kitticus doing a lot of damage, trying to help their team. They get the flash out, but it doesn't look like it's going to be enough as Maokai gets the Twisted Advance, finds the shutdown. Maokai Gaming, but here comes Complex getting out of there. Critical, who gets the kill. Now he's looking for more, looking for any type of victim. Trying to go for the Seraphine first, but gets a little bit slowed out, and now has to just start to walk away. But while he walks up for the W, gets nice damage back to the Complex, and the E miss will probably just lead to the Complex having to run away.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to get much more after, and I just feel like the team fighting here from TD Harmony once again shows how good they are as a coordinated squad. Chukles knows his job. Dick on this Misfortune. She has Bloodthirster, first strike Misfortune into a full tank Bramble Vest armor stacking Maokai. There's no way she does absolutely anything. If he's just on her forehead, right? There's nothing that Kitticus can do. He tries to open up with a bullet time, almost instantly interrupted as you pointed out, Beg. And just no way for the rest of the team fight to go forward if after Complex is caught so early on, and almost a little silly for them to try and force a fight after, they just lose their top laner getting almost no cooldowns and they suffer the consequences. And now with Dragon App, it looks like another neutral objective that they're going to try to contest, but how do you contest this? There's no bullet time.
And they also don't have Frost, who doesn't have TP, so I think they just need to back up and see that. Let Frost get this turret, let Frost get this CS, and get a nice little gold thing, but it doesn't look like they're super willing to, as they keep looking to walk in, but finally they get called off, and finally they decide to just play for their side lanes.
It's just too little too late. Yes, you're going to get one turret on top side. You're always going to get that turret, but imagine if Kitticus and maybe even like Toxin were here on this top tier 2. This turret would be dead. That's more gold under your hands than maybe one turret and half a midwave. I just think you have to make that call early. You have to realize you don't have the vision control. You don't have the ultimates. You don't have the summoners to be able to fight the dragon. And it's only second Drake. Cross map. Get some gold elsewhere. Get a little bit more damage into your pocket on your AD carry and your mid laner and live to fight another day.
One thing we're getting to see here is again just a little bit of the despair rush from Maokai and Diana. I am not a fan of it whatsoever, because while it does give some armor, yes, you're facing a all AD team. Why build any MR whatsoever? And yes, it gives a little bit of healing, but look at it. If we hover over Maokai's healing, unless this is a spectator bug, which I would hope that it is, it's only done 50.
Yeah, there's no way that's real. I don't believe that Unending Spares only healed him for 50 damage. I just don't believe that. Maybe we'll see as the game goes on, but not looking great unless that is a bug, as Rift Herald will be summoned up into mid, crashing on into the mid tier 1 with 5 grubs. Will do a lot of damage, but Toxin is going to get caught for now, but the Diana ulti's been used, and Samurai just gone too far. You remember, the Misfortune still does damage if she's able to channel her ult, and Toxin able to make it happen with his AD carry, and Samurai drops So at least one kill traded back. Chukels under the turret is gonna force Complex to die. And Chukels, man, Beg, this is really what you've been dreaming of, and this Darius is not liking it.
Yeah, Complex just seeing red all this time, just keeps trying to make things happen, and Chukels again just keeps laughing at it, say, here's a turret, here's a teammate. I don't need to solo kill you, I have friends.
Yeah, really good stuff here for Chukels, but is it going to be enough to interrupt the likes of Kitticus, Frost, and Toxin? Not 100% sure about it, but doing well on this Maokai. Can he bring his team back into this series? And I just don't know. Again, look at that CS lead, Beg. 182 to 117 farm. Galio Yone, that side lane matchup is abysmal at this point. A 70 farm differential is just unforgivable.
Yeah, we got a big fight going on mid lane. Frost will be the first one to die. Meanwhile, we also have a fight going on bot with Tonic and Complex trying to break down Chukels, who misses the E but has to burn the flash to get the shutdown. But hashtag worth just to get that, kill back finally. It's Maokai doesn't get away with murder anymore. But Frost dying mid lane, costing the team their advantage state, and here comes never mind, he doesn't have any mana, so Galio TP down here to guess try to catch this next wave.
Yeah, catch the wave, save the turret, I guess, but maybe get a base and got a little bit more mana before he's done so, but it's alright. We'll just be able to save the turret from dropping, and you're right, it's got to be very satisfactory for Complex to be able to get that shutdown finally. Maokai's so frustrating to lane into, whether it's the saplings, the constant healing, or him shoving you around all over the place all the time. It's got to be at least a minor win here for Complex in this side lane matchup. Now with 2 full items complete, he'll be sitting pretty. But I think the rest of the team tells the rest of the story. Bloodthirster and Essence Reaver in for Kitticus. He is full on health, full on mana at every single point in this game.
Yeah. Chukels now seemingly going towards another very nerfed item, going for the Fimble Winter, it seems like will be their second item. Again, this is just not reading the patch notes type of deal, as this item is not an item that should be built in pretty much any situation anymore, and especially not in a situation where you are facing a single damage output team of all AD. Build armor, not more HP, please.
Yeah, especially into someone like Yon, who builds Bork and does % health damage, but that is okay. We'll see if it's going to pay off at all, as I think a Courtlow is just going to die in that bottom side, but the rest of the fight's going to kick off here. Nice Braum Shield to interrupt, and now Samurai, I think, has gone a little bit too far. Remember, Kitticus is not the easiest target to kill at this point. Complex still looking to get this health back, but instead, while Heatop will take him out, but I think in the end, he will drop as well. It is an ace for the side of TD Harmony as they wipe Jolly Rogers off the back of this map and will take Dragon number 2 for themselves. Harmony show up in that bot side jungle.
Yeah, Kitticus, been popping these ultis, been, pulling the triggers at will. Finally finds one that gets on top of more people and wins the team the fight. As it's just looking like we're looking at TD Harmony starting to take complete control of this game. They got they've evened up the dragons, they've taken the gold lead, and they have the turrets already at their disposal, looking to just finish this series out with a 3-0.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the kills, it looks pretty close. Maybe there's even a slight edge, but look at the gold lead. That tells the real story of this game. It's 6,000 gold at this point, or excuse me, about 5.8 or so. It's not good here if you are the likes of Jolly Rogers. This is game 3. Everything you've got is on this final game. If you want to continue, you got to win now. If not, you just go home. And we'll see if they've got anything left in stock. Any more final cheese plays, any extra bushes or vision plays to hide around. With Otacon spawning, it's got to be now, and it's got to be fast.
One thing I'm seeing that I want to point out is with never mind, we a Tonic getting caught out and trying to go for some wards. We get CC'd up by the Galio and the rest of the team, but they get the jump onto the Darius, and they don't feel comfortable with this chase. But Kitticus might have been the one getting caught out now. Is Toxic goes in for the re-engage, trying to protect their ADC. Burns ulti, Kitticus passes him in the flash out. Now Toxin will be the sacrifice. It's a shutdown for the Galio.
Yeah, well played. They're able to find the kill onto Toxin, and well, Frost is just doing so much work against Jukos here. The sustain is the problem. Nice dodge there on the own ult, able to twisted advance his way onto a minion, but Frost, again, just to sustain this chase down potential. Jukos is flashing, but he's at best just going to get a flash in return, and finally, eventually will drop here as Frost takes him out in the side. And with that 2-item spike in for Frost, it is just too much to deal with. 1-for-1 now across the map. As at least the likes of Jolly Rogers get a mid turret, so a little bit more map pressure for themselves.
Frost maybe gonna get caught out. Doesn't have the ulti,
There's
doesn't
no
have a
ult.
flash. Does die, but it's a trade as Wall did not get a good vault W out, and it ends up being just a trade, 1-for-1. So not bad. Frost ends up getting 2-for-1 in the extended portion of the fight.
Yeah, I feel like Frost could have played that a lot more patient. Didn't really need to give up the gig that early. Let the team maybe kite in and out a little bit more and then come in at the end, but instead gives up his life. And it's a 1-for-1. You get the enemy 80 carry, so you'll never be too sad about it. But I think it could have gone a little bit better. Samurai now with that ulti, maybe they're looking to make the play, but he does not get Kitticus, who's now able to free hit on the back end of this fight. And with only Samurai and a court low here, what are you fighting over? What are you fighting for? There's no damage. Your 80 carry's still dead for 3 seconds. A court low has to flash out. The Seraphine ult's gonna hit. Can they get Complex on the turret? Yes, they can. Certainly the tower's gonna kill him eventually, and yes, he will die. Jukel's very tanky on this front line, and finally, we're gonna get a TP in to respawn from Frost, but it's too late. As 1-for-1 is much better than I think TD Harmony were hoping that fight would go.
Frost not letting the fight end here as they look for the ulti in, gets on top of Sapphire Gem and almost finishes off Shurikis, who lives with a sliver, but now they will end up being finished off by Kitticus, and now Wall is just trying to run away. They get hit by the Braum passive, and they will flash with and get out. Now it's just Frost diving underneath the turret by themselves. We have a pause.
Yeah, little pause. Apparently, some disconnection issues there, so I think things will resolve themselves shortly. But it sucks to take you out of it in the middle, but you were going kind of off there, Beg. I appreciated the call, but we'll see if that connectivity gets resolved shortly. In the meantime, I mean, again, I just feel like TD Harmony have control, right? They were able to grab the turret, able to grab a couple more kills. Sapphire Gem caught out by that Yeon ulti. Frost has looked so good, by the way, on this Yeon every single opportunity. And just again, showing up when it matters most. About to hit B here with 3 items, Infinity Edge purchase. That is just too much of a task, I think, to chew through.
One thing I have to ask you here, because I'm noticing it on everyone, I think. I don't know, actually, are these all the fully upgraded ones? No. They are the fully upgraded for the Vi and the Misfortune and the Braum. How do you feel about them already fully joining those fully purchased boots with the empowered from feats?
I like Swift March, especially on Misfortune. I think 4% movement speed is great. I think the upgrade even higher benefits that because she's such a high movement speed champion. Everyone else, I'm not so sure. A magic shield is cool. Like, it feels nice to get a magic shield, but the moment you get poked, it just immediately falls off. So not a huge fan of the upgrade here from Toxin or Atomic, as I assume we're all going to run into some freeze frame issues here, but they should resolve themselves if we just let it play out. Sorry about that. Will happen a little bit as the game goes on now, as it sort of resyncs itself. It's Riot has the best code known to mankind, so apologies on that, but we should continually be synced and continually be okay to help close out and call this game as things come down to the wire here, Beg, as we are almost 30 minutes deep into this one already.
Yeah. Another interesting thing that I'm seeing with the build, and I'm a pretty big fan of it for Sapphire Gem. We have the Rylai's Crystal Scepter. The reason I like it here is the fact that their team has some slows with the Maokai and whatnot. Oh, meanwhile, we have to engage from the Maokai going on top of Frost, but they actually knocked them out of the ulti, and it's just Kitticus having to burn their ulti to save out Frost, who has to use their E.
Yeah, well played. Walkie takes a little extra damage on the bullet time there. Scared me just a little bit, but we'll be okay. We'll live and just has to hit that recall for now. Now, Rise is always a good purchase on Seraphine, right? Has innate slow now, so the E will auto root. The second E will then stun instead of root, so feels extra nice as Chukul's looking to chase down this Darius. Speed is going to be there. Dragon's going to be given away, but is there response play? I don't think so. It's just not quick enough here from the side of Jolly Rogers. They've got to find one angle in or out because this could get dicey if they're in a bad spot when this team claps. But Toxin is on the other side of the map. They got to be careful with the numbers disadvantage, though.
Yeah, I think right there, this is where we're starting to see a little bit of the Arbiter, play style right there. As we have, some blind chasing going on. We got some jungle doing their camps randomly while their team's looking for a fight. Yeah, but that being said, we haven't seen that too much tonight, and it's actually been pretty decent gameplay. As I say that, here comes Complex again going for a random fight onto Chocos as Sapphire Gem gets a nice ulti onto 2, gets the cleanse out of Kittius, and Samurai and Frost are having their own 1v1, and Samurai not coming out the positive. Then here comes Stockton now looking for the engage themselves. Chocos with a nice cancel on the Q with the Q of their own. Toxin keeps trying to go back with another Q, knocking them over the wall thanks to the fact that their hitbox had nowhere else to go.
Yeah, I mean, this is just so tough, right? It's a good ulti from Sapphire Gem, a great lineup on the enemy AD carry, forces an early cleanse, but there's just no follow through. Like, who else is going to dive other than Samurai? Is getting 1v1'd, and now Chukels forcing out the Galliwald. He's been caught. Nice by ulti onto the back line. The bullet time is interrupted. Nice, well played. Samurai's trying to get onto Kitticus. Can they do it? Frost is DPSing the whole time, and Kitticus just won't die. This 80 carry just stays alive, and Sapphire Gem has to watch as the rest of her team crumbles, as her playoff dreams crumble in front of her eyes. I think that's all she wrote, Beg. They're gonna push down mid.
Alright, Complex. You had a nice fight there, making up for, your laning. But yeah, look at this net for, the future series. They're not going to be as easy. You're not going to be able to have those deaths. You have to build on to yourself, learn a little bit of, patience and, understanding and get ready for your next series. But congratulations to TD Harmony as they look to clean this game, finish off the series. It's a 3-0. It's all TD Harmony. GG's.
GG's, TD Harmony indeed. Well played, Jolly Rogers Black Pearl. Unfortunately, just was not your night tonight. There's a lot of bright spots in the gameplay that you could see some of the creativity, the ingenuity, and the fight there that they had in them, but it just wasn't their series tonight. Excellent showing from TD Harmony tonight, and I mean, I think they deserve the win through and through, Bag. I think your prediction was as sound can be.
Yeah, TD Harmony came in the heavy favorites, 4-0 in the season, taking on the underdogs of Jolly Rogers Black Pearl. But yeah, I give Jolly Rogers some credit. They fought with them for game 1 and game 3. Also looked like they had a chance where it could have gone either way. But TD Harmony pulled out ahead. I wouldn't say had a lead. They didn't look back and won the series convincingly.
Yeah, I mean, it looked really good for them, and they will move on into week 3 of playoffs next week against the winner of TD Chrono Break and Contingent Esports Purple, and still waiting, I think, for the results of that match, but definitely check that out. Hang around in the chat and see what it's going to look like, because, hey, if TD Harmony shows up that way next week, who knows? They might just make a run all the way to the end.
As we get an update, and it was a 2-0 for Contingent. Contingent looking to deny the TD, their sister team, winners finals.
Yeah, we'll see. 2-0 might just be a quick night over there as well. Might be able to get to bed early, and you might be able to clean what you need to clean, Veg, so I won't hold us for any longer. Quick shout out to the production team behind the staff here. I appreciate having me on here for a quick little fun cast. It was a pleasure, Beg. Thank you so much, and make sure to tune in next time for some more LXC action. Thank you all from everyone behind the scenes here for tuning in. We appreciate you guys. Stay cool. We'll see you soon. We'll see you later.
And if you want to stick on this stream, we will be rating the rival stream, who is doing a power rankings for Sentinel